Good morning. We are diving back into Colorx Malice today. I haven't played in a few days. I can't remember the last day I played. I can't remember. We finally finished K's story, and got all the endings, got the special photo card. My goal is to get, does it have their names on here? It does not. The one with the red hair or the cat guy are the two other ones I liked the least. So my goal is always to get my least favorites first. So we're going to try for that. I'm going to see if now that we have this option. Ooh, there's a special ending. No. Oh, interesting. It won't even let you click on people you don't have yet. Dang. I don't know if I enjoy this game in terms of loading and getting into things. Oh, is it too dark in here? Hang on. I don't like turning this on because it's so bright. It'll do. Because it doesn't let you skip to like the next option like some of the other games I played do. So I had to literally fast forward through the entire story for K just to get back to the scene selections. And I don't like looking at tutorials when I'm playing my first playthrough. I like to kind of have a natural playthrough. I always try to get like the good answers. If it doesn't say anything special on like the level, I'll pick another answer and try to get it. Unfortunately, I had to fast forward the entire story just to get to okay, this is the one that decides where you're going to join. So I just need to know who's working which case because I can't remember for the life of me. Oh, please. Skip. I just need to figure out who's working what cases again. So I'm going to see if loading up this choice before that will tell me who's on what case again. It might not be enough. Listen, Kai, you need to leave me alone. You're scaring me. Oh, there's my brother with a deep voice. Oh yeah, there's that crazy kid. That's definitely a stalker. Oh, hey. Oh, they do show him. Does not tell me. April and May incident. Oh, dear God. Oh, no, wait. This is just general? Hang on. I know... I can't remember. Oh, gosh. I picked which one I wanted to work on, and I know I had picked the one that they said no one had been working on because I didn't realize it was a choice that would like lead to who you end up following. I might just need to look to see who I'm supposed to. Okay, I know I've clicked on all these, so that's enough for now. I think this is enough for now, even though blah, blah, blah. Am I reviewing the whole thing, bro? Okay, hang on. I might just be too silly for this. It's early. I work today, so I decided to get on early today before work. So it's like 5:30 right now. And my brain can't process my options. Oh goodness. X Malice. Okay. So Enomoto, let's try looking up his name. I feel like, again, this is a weirder one. I know this was originally on, I think, Vita and some other stuff before, and I just never played it. So maybe because it's technically an older one, it just does this. My goodness. Okay. Don't report it. Let's see. So forensics? This might be wrong. I might have, actually, know what? I do. I need to reload it. It says that there's an option I have to pick that wasn't there before. So let's see. And it's the choice on okay, so don't report it is the option. I already chose that, so I don't need to stay there. I can go back to the other one. Come on, you got this. If you've already played Okazaki and Social Group, then this option will be available. Otherwise, it won't be here. I'm so confused. So I need to start over. How beautiful that man is. Like, oh God, I can't wait. He's my last story. All right, hang on. We're gonna go back home. All the way home. Main menu, yes, please. I don't know if maybe the option's not there because I did not. You have re-entered the same name. Use anyways. Yeah. So pretty. Did I take a photo of this? I like it. Let's see. Common. Let's go back to common, I guess. So I want like an all skip because there's usually like an all skip right here where I could just skip to the very first option. I don't have to go through the whole story just to get there. I wonder if I should look and see how to get everybody's storyline and just kind of work on all of those things at once. Let's see. Oh dear, you know what? I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna do it in such an OCD way. All right, this does not show this option to me. Okay, so we are now going to do 2 save files because I don't want to deal with this garbage. All right, so I'm almost wondering if, okay, we're gonna save this and this is gonna be slot 1. this is already in slot 1. Okay, hang on. We are going to... This one's already don't report. Let's try report incident. Maybe this kills me. I should tell the police officer. This might be risky, but we might be able to learn something that leads to people tied to the collar. Making up my mind, I opened my mouth. Mochida, look at this. When I removed my muffler to show the collar, Mochida tilted his head. Is that a collar? Yes, while I was waiting for you, I was ambushed, and when I woke up, this collar had been put on me. Who did that? Did you see their face? I believe the culprits tried to the X-day case. If we examine the collar, we might be able to... I felt a sharp pain in my neck, and my vision immediately went black. What's the matter? Get up! It was hard to breathe, and I couldn't talk. I couldn't see anything. Mochida's voice grew distant. All of my senses were failing. I'm still... When you execute your own form of justice, I promise we will meet. Not like this, but in person. I still haven't... End. Okay, I just realized that was probably an ending. Cool, we want all routes anyways. Okay, so there's literally no other choice for that one. Alright, so that literally means... What the heck? Okay, hang on. If you've already played route before this... I did Okazaki. This option will be available, otherwise this won't be here. I'm so confused. Maybe I'm stupid. Which wouldn't surprise me. It's early and I don't really... I really have no senses. Alright, so the first option... So this is going to be chapter 00. I'm going to write that down. Chapter 0. We're going to go to common because the prologue is unnecessary. I'm so confused. All right, and then we're gonna just play past this first option. Option 1, always. Gosh, I'm so in love with this guy. Do not report. All right. 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get to these options and then I'm going to save with the different options, but I'm going to have to keep my list in order so I know what choices I've made. And I'm probably silly about this, but I'm going to... All right, so don't report it. No one needs to know. No one needs to know. Who needs to know? I feel like if I report it after they say they're gonna kill me, they might kill me. What a weird idea, though. Who knows? I love you so much. Please be the bad guy. I want you to, like, want me to join your ranks. I'm still hopeful. All right. I'm gonna call this Path 1. I don't like that guy. Just don't think he's cute enough. I'm gonna do this like... Oh no, Mimikyu, don't fall over. Hang on. Here's that option it said. This is my Mimikyu. Have I showed you guys him before? Look at him, isn't he cute? He just fell over because I have cords on the table and he accidentally got hit by one of the cords. Because I'm not playing with my Xbox right now. Not my Xbox, my PC right now. I'm playing on Switch. Alright, so this says lie to him is the option it wants me to go with. Lie. And that is the choice I'm going to go with. I'm also going to save right here. And that save is going to be the very first save because the report the incident's the only option here. There's no other option. So I don't need to quick save to that. So That is saved. Okay. And now we're going to go with lie to him. Lie. It's nothing. Are you that surprised that I'm the director? Not at all. I was just... Sir... oops. Oh, really? A shady-looking character like me doesn't fit your image of a director? I never said that. That just means that you were thinking it, weren't you? So that's how it is. I see. You judge people on their appearance? I just do the same, so it's not bad. Why do I feel like I had that? I tried to lie to him, but all I did was dig my own grave. I wished he wasn't so critical of people, too. When I heard he was the director, I expected more from him, so I was a little disappointed. Dun 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 dun. Ah, my throat. Alright, so I'm pretty sure this just goes back to like a normaler look. And then it just goes on and on and on at that point. Okay. So I'm going to write down my second option, which is you don't care if I die, question mark. And there's a chance the reason I'm wanting to write these down as I make my options is once I get to a certain point and start another storyline, I might not have to make all these, I might have all these choices in line and I don't need to go as far back. So this is gonna be save 2 and save 3. Yeah, God, you're so cute. You're just so, look at him. I don't enjoy there not being just a skip to the next choice option though, because I have to fast forward through all this, and that's just silly. All right, and then is, whoops, working for the SP hard. It's going to be save 4. And so the reason the saves are going to be after is because the first one is when you save, when you get the choice, which means I'll have that choice saved in that slot, and then it can go straight to the next option if I need to correct something. So they're going to be all off by 1. All right, so then save 5 is going to be the best option ever, which is that is enough for now because I don't need to go through all those options. And then forensics. Hi, sexy boy. All right. It's going to be save. I'm curious if I could have just gone straight to that last option and went to beginnings. Whatever. It's whatever. We're going to get there. 6F. Save 6. All right. You don't care if I die. Overcome with emotion. You're stupid. You're hopeless. With that, he let me go. You're so cute. I love you. People who don't care if I die. You know what I mean? To research X day. Beginning. All right. I'm going to... Did I save? Oh, I forgot. got to save. Whatever. Okay, well, this is my fault. I did this to myself. This is what happens when it's almost 6 a.m. Oh, he's so beautiful. I love you so much. Be the leader. Take my soul with you. At some point, this will all make sense. I'm sure of it. I was trying really hard to make me be center in this frame, by the way, and it did not work out my way. I want you to trust me. Oops. Whether he understood me or not, the mistrust I was reflected in his eyes was painful. He used to be a police officer. His devotion to justice is obviously going to make it hard for him to trust someone like me. I know what you want to say, Enomoto. This situation is bound to breed mistrust, so it's natural that you wouldn't trust me. But still, I want to trust you and I want you to trust me. I looked straight into Emoto's eyes and I told him my true feelings. I knew that I was being childish, so I wasn't weary of everyone around me. It would come back to haunt me. Still, I couldn't lie about my true feelings. We'll be seeing each other more often, so if we can get to know each other a little, we might be able to dispel the doubts we have. There's also a chance nothing will change. That's also true. I'm prepared to accept that. But I'd like to at least start on a path earning your trust. I'll work as hard as I can until I can prove you can all trust me. Do whatever you like. The moment before he turned away, I thought I saw a hint of sorrow in his eyes after he made that remark. He's got some issues? What? I'm gonna go do this, and then the next one I play through, I'm gonna just try to get to the option where I choose, which I didn't see that option, so now I'm really confused. Maybe I forgot to save. Forgot to save already like 3 times, so might as well. I had literally made a list of where I was gonna save and I didn't do it. Whatever, it's fine. Give me something to do while I was fast forwarding through this story that doesn't let you skip to the next option. Skip buttons are the best, bro. Then I don't have to do this and I can get straight to the story. Straight. It's working for the SP hard. I decided to break the ice with a fairly innocuous question. Is working for SP hard?
そうだね。身を挺して警護対象者を守らなくちゃいけないから、体力的にも精神的にも結構大変みたい。
I guess it is. I have to risk my own safety to protect designated individuals. It's a lot of physical and mental stress, apparently.
俺はあんまり苦に思わないんだ。守れる環境があるだけで嬉しいから。
Personally, I don't really find it that hard. I'm just glad there are people to protect. Maybe he's stoic when it comes to his job. He did fall asleep on me last time. I'm sorry you have to work. I'm sorry you have to walk me home. Your work is so tiring. I'll be fine on my own.
これくらいなんともないよ。猫さんと話すのは楽しいし。
Oh, this is nothing. It's fun talking to you, cat. I couldn't help but chuckle at the wide grin that he flashed me, though this is no time to be laughing. Yanagi and the other were wary of him, and I knew I should get involved. I got caught up in his rhythm. I thought an SP agent would feel more cold and unapproachable, but you don't seem that way to me. That looks... Oh, no.
それって、俺は君にとって親しみやすいってこと？
This is the most psychopathic question you've ever asked me, Okazaki, and I'm not appreciative of it. I seem friendly to you? Huh? Well, I suppose you could say that.
猫さんに嫌われてないのは
I
嬉しいな。
see. I'm glad the kitty doesn't hate me. He seemed genuinely happy about that. I felt my cheeks go flush. Even though I was wary, I was getting swept up in his silliness. I can't allow myself to get careless. I must stay cautious. But once I started thinking about it, I couldn't think of things to discuss. So we ended up not talking about anything else until we reached my home. My bro, look at you. Oh, there's that boy. That suspicious boy. There's the guy. We are going to not research because we've already done that. That's enough. I think we've done enough research. December 7th. We are going to go to... So just in case, I'm going to actually save like a person should have done earlier. This one's going to be in 2, so... I'm gonna put a star and put S2. That's just gonna give me a mental reminder of what I've done with my life. And it wants me to go where? I'm pretty sure it's already told me where to go, but I'm pretty sure it was 6, the forensics. I'm not even sure you get an option to have a different choice because I've tried clicking on other things and it has not let me click on them, and I was sad. Oh, I see. Maybe that's where the choice is. All right. I want to research X-Day beginnings. I nodded to show that I understood the path I would be taking. Was this new? This didn't act like it was new. I've made up my mind. I'm ready. I plan to start my researching the April case where this all started and then move on to the May case. Ah, where it all began. There has been new attacks lately, so why bother starting there? Well... Hang on, I'm scratching. I have been attacked by mosquitoes in the last 2 days. I live in a building that has like a bunch of trees and they love it here. Investigate the X-Day incidents. Once you learn the truth, I'm sure you will exact your form of justice. You will learn whether or not you believe it is right to oppose our will. Justice. Adonis has used that word repeatedly. They seem like they're planning to continue the murders, but I thought there was more to it. At least that was my gut feeling. The police are working hard on the cases, but we still have information gaps on the X-Day crimes. These X-Day crimes are just that dense. There's so much going on in every case. I thought it would be best to start from the beginning. Well, you certainly got spunk, I'll give you that. Still, sending a green SRCPO rookie to look into this might make it seem like you don't trust us. That's not true at all. It's true that I'm inexperienced. I want your advice because you've been so... bleh. It's true I'm inexperienced. I want your advice because you've been at so many crime scenes. No need to get worked up. Sorry, I've just been teasing you. Will you help me then? Sure, I gotta be honest, I thought it would be a huge pain when Sasuke asked me. You know you're not gonna find all that much without help. Yeah, I know. I thought we wouldn't get along at first, but I think you've got the spirit to see this through. I can't help you out with everything, but I'll help you out if I can. Thank you so much. She looks scary in her photo, but I'm glad she turned out to be a kind person. Just as I patted my chest in relief.
協力してあげたらその都度誠意は現物でもらうけどね。
Each time I help you out, I'm gonna need a little quick poke.
食べ放題の焼肉とかすき焼きとか、あ、ステーキでもいいよ。
Like all you can eat barbecue or sukiyaki. Steak's good too. Okay. It would be a necessary experience. Apparently, Sasuke lied her with meat too. I'll have to budget for this. While I thought about my unfortunate reality, my phone buzzed in my pocket. I nodded to Shigawara and proceeded to take my call. This is Hoshino. Hoshino, something happened. We've got a victim. Sounds like a residential area has been hit. It's pandemonium over there. SRCPO has been called for support. Get over there right away. Yes, sir. I hung up the phone and saw Shigorara running from the rooftop exit. I was sure she had orders to move out too. I have to hurry. I quickly put my phone away and started moving to the crime scene. Is this new? Oh, we did it! Yeah! We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray! Help! A video believed to be linked to the X-Day crimes was sent to the police. Additionally, it was sent to the common internal email address. In the video, it looked as if a film projector was projecting a digital timer over the chest of a man who had been bound by rope. When the countdown reached 0, the man would be executed. A gag order was issued to prevent a panic, and the transmission source was traced, but by the time the location had been identified, the victim had already been killed. Something's going on. Don't tell me this is another X-Day murder. Actually, can I... Settings. I don't... Did I do that right? Okay. I just don't care about, like, not main characters' voices, so... What did I... Did you just hit return to default? Okay. Alright. We're very sorry. We cannot discuss details at this moment. Give me a break. Are you telling me that you don't know anything?
失礼しました。これも職務なもので、ご協力感謝いたします。
I apologize. We're just doing our jobs. We appreciate your cooperation. While Mochida and I were collecting statements and controlling the perimeter, there was an unending stream of curious onlookers. We can't assume it's not a copycat crime, but a coin was found at the scene. If it matches the coins that Adonis has left at every other crime scene, then this will become an official X-Day case. Adonis has made one attack per month, and I thought my caller was this month's incident. But that theory would crumble in this homicide turned out to be an X-Day killing. Excuse me, I'm trying to get through. I live over there. Yes, I'll escort you, ma'am. While I guided the woman, my mind drifted through the thoughts about the caller. Yanagi's team saved me within the time designated by the attacker, but the victim this time. When I thought about it, I was filled with soul-crushing regret. Why didn't I die? Then this man wouldn't have to. Is that it? I had walked to the area hoping to find some clues, but I hadn't learned anything useful. I was learning that enthusiasm alone didn't solve complex problems.
そんな風に落ち込んでも捜査は進展しないぞ。前を見ろ。
Hoshino, the investigation will not process even if you look gloomy. Keep looking ahead. Yeah, sorry.
これまでの捜査もなかなか事件の核心に迫る証言は得られなかったからな。
I know that despite all these crimes, we still haven't found any crucial
こういう
evidence
のは
yet.
根気強さが大切なんだ。そうすれば
This is
そ
where
のうち光明が見えてくる。
apologies. This is where perseverance is important. There will be light at the end of the tunnel. I suppose you're right. When we go back to the office, I'll compile a report of the statements we took.
今回は随分惜しかったらしいな。
This time, I have to say, it is especially
さ
frustrating.
っき
Huh?
小耳に挟んだんだが、予告動画が送られてきてから異例の速さで現場を特定できたらしい。
I'm hearing whispers that the scene was determined unusually quickly once the Adonis statement was
まあ
uploaded.
実際は間に合わなかったわけだが、あと
The-
10分20分早ければ食い止められた可能性が高かったそうだ。
The fact is, we didn't make it in time, but if we had just been 10 or 20 minutes faster, we might have been able to prevent this. Oh
わざわざ
no.
動画を一般公開せず警察に送りつけてきたことといい、
Though the video was deliberately sent only to the police instead of the public
なんだか犯人
broadcast,
がほくそ笑んでいるようで、どうにも歯がゆいな。
it feels as if the criminals are laughing at us when we're just sitting ducks. It makes us feel pretty helpless. It's hard to struggle with your fear on the brink of death, not knowing if you'll be saved. It's hard. I had experienced that fear. I got this. I can do this. I know what words are. I know how to say them. I don't know every word, let's be real with ourselves, but like I can read a sentence typically. I'd experienced that fear firsthand, and I didn't want anyone else to feel it. If I had time to be depressed, then there's someone that I can help somehow. I scolded myself and thought ahead. By the time I finished, hang on, my phone, okay. By the time I finished processing the interviews and making my report, it had gotten to be pretty late in the evening. Sasaka seemed upset. Last night, he sent me a terse text telling me I'm going to go to the office and I'd said I'd go once I was done. He might snap at me if I don't hurry. I turned in my report to Mochida and departed the police station for the detective office. While I walked, I decided I'd introduce myself to Enomoto, since he was also on April and May. Actually, of everyone in the office, Enomoto was the closest to my age.
俺は
Oh, I don't
お前
I
が
don't
犯人と
trust
繋
you.
がっ
There
て
are
る可能
plenty
性
high
が高いってのは間違いない事実だからな。
there's a pretty high likelihood that you're connected to the criminals in some
柳
way.
先輩が捜査に加えるって言うなら従うけど、変に期待すんなよ。
Yanagi says to loop you in on everything, but don't expect too much. I just couldn't forget how blunt he had been with me. He may have been told to work with me, but it doesn't seem like he's okay with it. I trottle over. It's
空いているから
Hoshino.
入ってくれ。
It's open. Come in. Excuse me. All of the members except Shirashi was gathered here.
急に呼び出して悪いな。そこに座ってくれ。
Sorry to call you over so suddenly. Please have a seat. Okay. I sat down on the sofa across from Yanagi and looked at Sasaka and Enomoto. Sasaka was staring at his computer as usual, while Enomoto... As soon as we made eye contact, he very pointedly turned away. What's his problem? It was unfair. They told me to come here. I looked at Yanagi, who had been the only one to speak to me, and spoke up. I'm here because the incident that happened today?
白石から少し前に連絡があったな。
Yeah, I heard from Shirashi a little while
事
ago.
件現場に落ちていたコインが X デイ事件のものと一致したそうだ。
The coin found at the scene is a match to the other X-Day coins. So Adonis was responsible for this one after all.
今回の事件はこれまでの X デイ事件に比べると
This incident is clearly different from the past X-Day crimes.
他
Different?
の X デイ事件と大きく違う点がある。星野
There are many aspects that are different. Do you know what they are, Hoshino? When he asked, I thought about the other X-Day crimes. Is it that different from the rest? Nothing stood out, so I hung my head silently. Sorry, I don't know. Shush.
榎本峰夫様の出番みてえだな。
This looks like a job for Mineo, Enomoto, detective extraordinaire. When I looked at Enomoto, he was suddenly laughing for some reason. He bounded to his feet and dramatically flourished a folded fan that he had been holding.
泣かぬなら泣かせてみせようホトトギス。ズバリその一室ってのはだな。
Yeah, there's a reason he's my second choice. If thou dost not sing, then I shall make you sing like a cuckoo bird. I deceive concerto of those differences. Concerto? A decisive concerto of those differences?
現場特定までの速度。
The speed of which the crime scene was discovered.
それに、いつもならネットに上がるはずの動画が新宿署のみに直接送りつけられてた。
Also, the videos are usually published online, but this one was only sent to the cops.
それ今俺が言おうとしたのに。
Hey, I was about to say
うる
that.
せえな。そんなに泣きてえなら俺が泣かせてやるよ。
Shut up. If you want to cry that badly, I'll give you a reason to cry.
なんだとやんのかワカメ。
Hell, you say. You want to go, seaweed head? Enomoto gritted his teeth, but Sasaka didn't seem at least a bit interested. Watching them, Yanagi sighed.
話が脱線したが、今までの X デイ事件は用意周到に計画した上で行われてきた犯罪だ。
Getting back on topic, previous X-Day crimes were committed with elaborate preparation. That's true. It's like they were toying with the police.
けど、今回の事件はどこか突発的なんだよ。アドニスにとっても想定外なんじゃねえか。
But this one seemed like a sudden event. Maybe Adonis didn't plan for it.
なるほど。
I
ミ
see.
ネオ、お前もそこのバカ猫と同レベルか。
So you and this stupid cat are on the same level?
いやーそれは。
No.
星野、今回の犯人像、お前はどう思う？
Hoshino, what are your thoughts on the criminal profile? Now that Yanagi was asking for an opinion, I couldn't let him down. I mustered my courage and gave my answer. Alright, we're gonna start saving over Kai with our new boy. Something reckless? This incident wasn't one that was planned by Adonis. Meaning the perpetrator acted independently, so maybe the person behind this crime is someone reckless.
の正解。まああれだけヒント出せば当然か。
Oh, nice. We did give you a lot of hints, though. Huh? Did Enomoto give out any hints? Yanagi and Sasaka were the ones doing all the analysis.
今までの X デイ事件に比べたら、計画性皆無で通算。
Love this
やることな
man.
すことお粗末すぎるんだ。
Oh, God. Compared to past X-Day crimes, this one wasn't planned well. From the top to bottom, the whole thing was way too sloppy.
ほうほう。つまり今回の犯人はバカってことだな。
Yeah, so the perp is some kind of idiot.
だったら真っ先にお前が逮捕されんだろ。
If so, I figured you'd catch him right away.
なぜ？
Why me?
ともかく、これらの相違点が何かしらの起点になればいいんだがな。
Anyways, these points of difference give us something to work from. There has to be some reason why this crime was different.
なんかこう使える情報が天からポポンと降ってくりゃいいのにな。
I wish some useful intel would just fall from the sky. Intel? Oh, I took witness statements if you think that might help.
なぜそんな大事なことを黙っていた？その内容、
何？
試しに述べてみよ。
Why'd you keep quiet about something like that? Spill the beans!
誰なんだよ、てめえは。バカ猫、こいつは無視していい。とりあえず話してみろ。
Who the hell do you think you are? Stupid cat, feel free to ignore him, but tell us anyway. Okay, understood. I took out my notes I had jotted down while interviewing people and presented the information that I'd collected. The victim formerly worked at the studio that developed the online game from the August murders. He recently moved to this residence and kept it nocturnal lifestyle. Nobody ever really saw him during the day. People that did see him reported that he acted suspiciously and seemed skittish.
で、他には
So anything else? That's all.
悪い。一個だけ言っていいか情報少なすぎね。
Sorry, can I say something? Isn't that way too little information? What did you expect? He stayed cooped up at home all the time and rarely came
いや、
outside.
そうかもしんないけど、もっとこう、決定的なやつを期待したっつうか。
That makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I thought that you'd have something more solid. Well, I'm sorry for disappointing you.
まあ、バカ猫にしちゃ上出来だろ。
That's good enough for the stupid cat.
マジ
Wait, really?
マジだ、バカ頭。被害者は8月の X デー事件のネットゲームの開発者。
Yes, idiot. The victim was a developer of the online game from March.
8月の事件でアリバイがあった容疑者をもう一度洗えば、何か出てくる可能性があるってことだろ。
In other words, if we look again at the suspects who had abilities for August, it's possible, alibis for August, it's possible that we might find something.
おー、そういうことか。
Oh, now I get
そう
it.
いうことはお手柄じゃん。星野、意外とやるな、お前。
You did good job. You did better than I expected, Hoshino. How can he so blatantly flip-flop whenever he becomes convenient for him? Now he was being complimentary as if he had forgotten that he was just criticizing me. It was so pathetic, I actually felt somewhat sorry for him.
請求さを求めているのか。事件の起こし方が大胆というより露骨になってきたように思える。
Maybe we're looking for someone quick-tempered. The MO feels more blunt to me rather than being
この
bold.
変化をどう捉えるべきか。
How should we deal with the change?
明確な答えは出せそうにない。
There isn't a clear
ロ
answer
ーマ
yet.
数字9から始まった X デーのカウントダウンも今月でついに1だ。
The X day countdowns begin with the Roman numeral
少ない
9, and this month it dropped to 1. We don't have much time left. Next month will be 0.
X デイは1月。
X day is in January.
そこのバカ2人、何今更分かりきったことを神妙に言ってんだ。
Why are you lumping me in with him? Are you two idiots just realizing that now? We don't need proof that you are capable of performing basic counting. That bit of criticism stung, but I had no comeback for it. I thought Enomoto would be furious at Sasuke for the comment, but he's been awfully quiet. Just as I thought, it's surprising that Enomoto seemed contemplative.
お、もしかして。
Wait, what if? Did you just realize something?
ああ、ズバリ分かっちまったよ。
Yeah, indeed I
今
did.
回の事件が他と比べて異質な理由。それは、X デイを目前にして、犯人たちが浮き足立ってるって証拠だ。
The reason this crime is so different from the rest, it's proof the criminals are preparing to turn tail now that X day is right around the corner.
例えるなら、織田陣営を前にした東海一の弓取り、今川義元が如く。
It's just like that famous archer Yoshimoto Inagawa of Tokai when he faced down the Oda army.
俺様の名推理にみんな言葉もないみたいだな。
I see my supreme detective power have left you all speechless.
どうしたどうした。あまりにも素晴らしい例えで驚いたか？
What's up? You amazed by my awesome example? No, turn tail means run away. I think the phrase you're looking for might be turn it up. But Minamoto's face turned beet red and he hung his head in extreme shame. What now? Should I not have said anything? I sheepishly looked over at Yanagi.
ひとまず、
Anyways, he ignored it.
榎本の言う通り、犯人が目標達成を目の前にして油断しているというのはありえない話じゃない。
Yawn. Okay. It's 6:30. I'm tired. Like Enomoto said, it's not impossible that the criminals are becoming hasty and careless as they near their final objective. Adonis carries out its attack as an organization after all.
絶対的なカリスマが率いる組織。意思決定や犯罪計画もその中心人物がいてこそ。
They're likely headed by a charismatic leader. I know a charismatic person. Decision making and planning are done by a central leadership, but
向こうも一枚岩ってわけじゃねえ。トップのやつ。そいつがどんだけすごかろうが、所詮は人間だからな。
they aren't monolithic. No matter how influential the head is, they're still
神じゃねえ
people.
以上、すべてをコントロールしようとすんのは無理。
As long as the leader isn't God, there's no way they can control everything.
何を企んでるかわからない以上、
Could it,
厄介な相手には違いないよ
could
な。
it be God? We don't know what they're plotting, but there's no mistake that they're trouble. Yep. Oh, Enomoto's alive again. Seems like he was quick to recover.
何にしても、8月の事件に関わってんなら俺の担当分だ。柳さん、それでいいよな。
Anyways, if this is related to August, then it's my job. Is that all right, Yanagi?
ああ、頼む。
Yeah, thanks. I was nervous about being added to the investigation, but I wonder if I just helped. There was a clear gap in experience between me and them, so I couldn't deny that I wasn't as quick as Yanagi and the others. But the fear of the poison in my collar drove me to pursue the cases harder. I felt like this was very like me.
ところで星野、お前はどの事件を追うつもりなんだ？
By the way, Hoshino, which case do you plan to take? Now that the decision was over, Sasuke paid Mineo attention and Enomoto had begun yawning sleepily. I timidly spoke up. I think I'm gonna work on the cases from April and May.
ちょいマジ
Wait,
それ、ひょっとしなくても、俺が担当してる事件じゃねえか。
I'm already in charge of those cases, I'll have you know. Yeah.
なんでよりによって、他の事件でもいいだろ。
So you can just work on something else, can't you? No, I can't. I firmly shut down his suggestion that I find something else to do. The criminals behind the collar was obsessed with justice. They also mentioned the truth of X Day in the second letter. It's as if they feel there's a legitimate reason for committing the X Day murders. It felt to me like they were saying that their idea of justice was correct while the police calls for justice is wrong. If there's some greater meaning behind the X Day crimes, I should start by examining the motives behind. I don't know where I found these words, but I just added them to this sentence. I should start by examining the motives and goals behind the first incident. So I want to investigate April and May, where all of it begins. When I asserted myself, Enomoto avoided looking at my eyes. His expression seemed pained, which made me curious, but...
Enomoto、彼女が彼女なりの考えでこの事件を選んだのは分かっただろう。共に捜査するパートナーとして。
Enomoto, you understand that she made this choice on her own reasons, right? Why don't you two partner up?
どうとかいきなり言われても。この事件は、俺が一人で。
Even if you asked me that, I still think I should go this one alone. Maybe I'm a bother to him. Enomoto used to be a field op, so from his perspective, maybe I'd be a burden. He seemed so disappointed when I talked about my witness statements, but I couldn't back down here. I stood up from the sofa and walked over to Enomoto.
なんだよ。
But you got a problem with me? Enomoto's tensed up. I bowed before him. Please allow me to work with you. Huh? I'll do my best not to get in your way. I hate being
おい、
useless.
なんでそんな、やめろって。
Why are you? Stop. Please?
わかったから頭上げろよ。
Fine, I get it. Stop bowing. You'll let me work with you? I looked up, wondering if my passion had moved him.
バカじゃねえの。これくらいのことでそんな喜ぶなんてよ。
Are you stupid? Is this worth getting so happy over? He quickly scurried away from me and turned away. I knew it. He still doesn't trust me. But I can't look weak. The bottom line is that he's accepted me regardless.
笹塚、星野は4月と5月の担当ということで構わないな。
Sasaka, is it alright with you if Hoshino works in April and May?
別に、俺には関係ねえし。
Not really. That's none of my
話
concern.
がこれで終わりなら、俺ちょっと出てくる。
If we're done here, I'm going out for a while. After saying that, Sasaka quickly left the
俺も
building,
上で一服してくる。
going upstairs for a smoke break.
こいつと二人だけにするつもりっすか。さすがにそれは勘弁してくださいよ。
Wait, are you leaving me alone with her? Give me a break. What? I was rather opposed to the notion as well.
お前たちは今日からパートナーになるんだ。お互いを知るためにも少し話をしてみろ。
Starting today, you two are partners. You should get to know each
い
other
や
better.
俺には話すことなんか。
I don't need to. With that remark, Yanagi took a cigarette out of his coat and went outside. We were alone in the room. Enomoto's... Guys, it's way too early. It's 6:30. Enomoto's ostentatious fan-waving mannerisms from earlier in the evening were long gone and were now replaced by stammering.
なんなんだこの状況。
What's up with
お見合い
this?
じゃあるまいし、あとは若い二人で状態にされてもな。
It's like we're in some arranged marriage, so why'd they just bolt and leave us alone together? Enomoto moved away from me while grousing himself. Yanagi must have done this out of concern to help us talk out our differences. I didn't want to let his concerns go to waste, but it felt like there was a gap between us.
俺にどうしろってんだよ。
What do I do now? If we're going to be partners, I'd like to know more about Enomoto, but he thinks I'm connected to the criminal, so I'm sure he'll be stubborn about it. It might be better to wait and see what his attitude towards me is. Enomoto kept glancing at me as if he wanted to say something but couldn't. If you have something to say, just go ahead and say it. Frankly, the silence was killing me. I just wanted him to say anything, even small talk. Meanwhile, Enomoto decided it'd be a good time to go and hide behind a partition that was situated deeper in the room. Now what? Should I follow him?
あのさ、
So,
喉乾いたから茶入れようかなって。お前も飲む？
I'm thirsty. I'm gonna make some tea. Do you want some? Yes, please. Oh, if we're having tea, I
い
can...
いって。俺好みの茶の濃さってのがあるんだ。
I prefer my tea to be pretty strong, by the way. I see. How strong do you like it exactly?
ほどほどだ。
Somewhat pretty strong? That's not really an answer. I still felt uneasy, but I was relieved that we managed to say something at least.
おいや、入れてきたぞ。心して飲め。
Here you go. It's ready. Take your time. All right. I picked up my cup while Enomoto just watched me. It's hot. It was steaming. I burned myself if I couldn't cool it down. Whew. Hey. Huh? Oh, sorry. I thought it'd be better to cool it off a bit. I apologize. Maybe he thought the tea was best enjoyed piping hot.
別にちょっと可愛いななんて思ってねえんだからな。
Oh my god. No, I don't like it. It's too cringe. It's not like I was thinking that you were kind of cute just then or anything.
そんなことで俺を懐柔させようったってそうはいかねえっつうの。残念でした。
Don't think that'll be enough to win me over. Too bad for you. Enomoto, are you okay? Enomoto nodded. Tears filled his eyes. He gulped down the scalding hot tea.
平気やし。俺ほどにもなると。こんなの変だもんね。
Fine. When you're this tough, it's nothing. You don't look fine. Why don't we add some ice? I know you went through the trouble of making it fresh, but this tea is a little hot for me. I'd like to cool it down.
冷凍庫にある。
To fridge. Okay, pardon me. I hurriedly went over to the refrigerator, took out an ice tray, and then brought it over to Enomoto. Enomoto was facing away from me, so I tapped him on the shoulder.
あ、
What? When he turned around, I tossed an ice cube into his open mouth.
いきなり何してんだお前。
I think I'm trying to murder this guy. What do you think you're doing? Well, I thought this would be fastest way to cool down your mouth.
別に俺はやけどなんてしてねえんだからな。
It's not like I'm totally fine.
そんな疑いの目や
No,
めろ。
fine, I'm fine. To think hot tea would disable him so badly. He must really dislike hot food and drink. Oh, by the way, I heard that placing sugar on your tongue helps relieve pain. Also, I saw on TV that honey works as well.
そうなのか。知らなかった。
Ha, I didn't know that. Honey is supposed to be good for mouth ulcers and cuts.
勉強になる。
I'm learning a lot.
それならどっちも台所にあるし。
I think we have both of those in the kitchen somewhere. Should I bring them over for you? Sure.
だから俺はやけどなんてしてねえ。
Wait, no, my mouth's not burnt. I told you. He was obviously lying, but it looked like I had no choice but to play along. Fine, but I reached over and dropped an ice cube in his cup of tea. Why don't we both just enjoy our tea a little cooler today? Enomoto looked at the melting ice cube and then at me, then he nodded. Sitting next to him, I let my tea cool down and took a sip. It's delicious. You must have spent some time viewing it.
なんだよ、余計な気遣いやがって。俺はあのままでも大丈夫だったって。
Why do you suddenly care? I'm fine on my own. Maybe the ice cube in his mouth had melted because Enomoto was grumbling to himself again and drinking his tea. For a while we sat there side by side drinking our tea. We didn't talk, but it felt less awkward than it had at first. Once I finished my tea, thank you for the tea. Did we manage to finally break the ice? Maybe now we can talk about work.
とりあえずなんだけどさ。
So like,
俺
yeah,
はまだ
I still can't trust you. Huh? I was just getting excited to talk about the case, and now that had been wiped away.
でもその根は悪いやつじゃないとは思う。
Don't think you're a bad person at the core. I mean, you brought me ice earlier. We've only just met, and we met under really weird circumstances, so I know that you won't be able to trust me right away, but it's my life on the line. I seriously want to solve the X-Day cases. Your help would be indispensable to me to achieve my goal.
本当にそう。
Really? Eh?
事件解決のために俺の力が絶対に必要だって。
Do you really think that this help is necessary for you to solve the cases? What do you
お前だっ
mean?
て分かってるだろ。俺はここのメンバーの中じゃ飛び抜けて頭使うのに向いてる。
Even you can see it. Out of all the guys here, I'm the worst at using my
柳
head.
先輩みたいな冷静な判断力も、タケルみたいな勘の良さや知識も、
I don't
白
have
石さんみたいな分析力もねえんだ。
I don't have Yanagi's calmness or decisiveness, Takeru's instincts and intelligence, or Shirashi's powers of analysis. I can do this.
そんな俺と一緒に捜査して X デイ事件を解決できるって。
This has nothing to do with you, Enomoto. This has to do with the case itself, so I think you're looking a little too far into this. What makes you think that working with someone like me is going to get you anywhere closer to solving the X-Day crimes? Enomoto stared at me, so I examined my own feelings, and I said the first thing that came to mind. In this case, I'm the same. I don't have experience like the rest of you, as Sasaka says. I'm not all that smart, but I don't think brains are the only way that these cases can be solved.
何が必要なんだよ。
What do you need then? It might sound like idealistic nonsense to you, but I think that the will to solve this no matter what might be the most important quality of all. I've decided to take the April and May incidents. I just thought that it would be the most natural for us to work together since you're on them. Besides, you're a formal field officer. You have the talent to get there at your age. And if it wasn't talent, then effort. Even I know that much. I argued earnestly with Enomoto, quietly watched. Maybe I had gone too far, but I couldn't stay silent. If I was going to work with Enomoto, then I wanted to learn more about him. But it felt like he didn't want to acknowledge his own value.
なるほどな。
I see.
わかった。
Okay. Do you
お前
understand
がだ
now?
いぶちょとつ盲信だってことはなんとなくわかった。
Yeah, I understand that you're a pretty reckless individual. What? How is that the thing he took from that speech I gave?
とにかくだな。俺は事件の実行犯だって言われてるアドニスのやり方が気に食わない。
Anyways, I can't stand the way these Adonis culprits do things. I feel the same way.
アドニスと少しでも関係があるなら、お前じゃなくても無理だって思うし。
So if you're even a tiny bit tied to them, I think we have to work with you. I don't trust you. But I'm not.
本当に全くの無関係なら、お前は狙われねえはずだろ。
If you really had nothing to do with them, they wouldn't have chosen you.
たとえお前が意図してなくてもな、あっちが狙う理由は必ずあるんだ。
Even if you're not in on the plan, there has to be a reason they went for
たまたま目
you.
についたから狙った。じゃあ説明できない状況だろ。
It doesn't really add up if you were just randomly selected, does it? That's true. I couldn't dispute Emoto's pointed remarks. I didn't know why I had been targeted, but Adonis wouldn't have just picked me for no reason. It was a difficult to
それに
understand.
お前だって俺たちを信用してるわけじゃねえんだろ。昨日そう言ってたもんな。
And it's not like you totally trust us either, do you? You said that yesterday, correct?
それなのに捜査のパートナーとかさ。
And now you want it to be
本
partners.
気で成り立つと思ってんのか。
Do you seriously think it'll work out? You deeply distrust me. As I watched him quietly vocalize his thoughts, I felt it more than ever. I could understand his doubts, but it was still frustrating. It's not as if I came here without knowing what I wanted. Dun 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 dun. It's true that in this situation one might not expect things to go
だろ
smoothly.
事件解決に向けてのメリットがない以上、組むことなんてできねえよ。
We can't work together if we don't stand to gain something from solving the cases. But if that's what you've decided, then it's already
どういう意
over.
味だよ。
What do you mean? Now that I've decided to pursue the April and May incidents, I want to cooperate with you. Whether or not you distrust me, I'm still going to investigate those cases, so I'd like to work together as much as we can. If you suspect me of being connected to Adonis that much,
お前何言って。
then I don't mind if you use me. Huh? What are you saying? If you decide to use me, then you'll benefit from working with me. You can pretend to work with me so that I lead you to have direct contact with Adonis. That or observe me while pretending to work with me while you gain clues about the criminals.
言葉だけなら何とでも言えるだろ。
Talk is cheap. You're just saying that to win me over. I won't lie to you. We're going to be partners, so I don't need to lie, do I? I don't mind if you take advantage of me. Now, if it helps us protect the citizens of Shinjuku, that's my idea of justice. Enomoto had been glaring at me, but now he just sighed. Fine.
それが
So that's your form of justice. We're gonna reload that because it didn't say my trust went up with him, and I need him to trust me. I think it'll work out.
はあいやいや、おかしいだろ。信用できない者同士がパートナーってどういうことだよ。
No, that's crazy. How can people who don't trust each other be partners? What are you talking about? Be that as it may, right now, we can still try to build trust in each other and work together. I don't know what kind of man you are, Enomoto, so I can't neglect a chance to get to know you. There we go.
変なやつだな、お前。普通そんなこと考えねえだろ。
You're a weird one. Who would normally think that way? Now that I've decided to pursue the April and May incidents, I want to cooperate with you. Whether or not you distrust me, I'm still going to investigate those cases, so I'd like to work together as much as we can. If you suspect me of being connected to Adonis that much, then I don't mind if you use me.
お前
Hang on, let's get me. Oh, wait. I don't mind being taken advantage of. Yeah. All right, fine. That's your form of justice. Why is that his response to what I said? I wanted to ask, but I didn't really feel like an appropriate time to do so. I had spoken my piece. Enomoto looked at me and seemed about to say something when the door suddenly opened and Yanagi
二人と
returned.
も少しは話ができたか？
Did you two manage to talk things out? Yeah. I nodded and looked back to Enomoto. Enomoto, we can take what? I only taken my eyes off him for a moment, but Enomoto was gone.
榎本ならもう出て行ったぞ。あれでも元機動捜査隊だからな。無駄に素早い身のこなしだった。
Enomoto already left. He used to be part of field ops, so that guy can move pretty quickly. I see. He looked like he wanted to say something, but instead he vanished on
多
me.
少調子に乗りやすいところがあるが、これからよろしく頼む。
I know that he gets carried away easily, but I hope you two can find a way to work together. We'll make the best of it. I felt a touch of anxiety, wondering if this would actually be okay. I decided to wait for him to return. Where did he go? He didn't seem like he would be coming back, so I decided to text him and go home for the day. Did you want to tell me something? I'm going home today, so please make sure to tell me next time, Enomoto. There, sent. Maybe I should take a shortcut home. I passed through a narrow alleyway to take the shortcut to my home. There aren't many streetlights along the path, so I usually avoid it. Ooh, can I die? Let's die. Let's see. Let's take this path in the dark. I should try another path sometimes. Thinking that, I take a dimly lit path after walking for a while. Ah! I heard the scream of a young woman. It sounded nearby. I stopped where I was and listened closely. Stop! Let me go! Shut up! Stop making a scene! Ow! Come here! I realized the woman was being attacked, so I drew my weapon without hesitation and quickly moved to the source of the voices. I don't know if these two people are connected, but it might be too late if I don't act. There was a chance that it was just a lover's quarrel, but I can't afford to take chances. If I heard a slap, that's not the... Let me go! I saw two silhouettes and ran forward, thinking that this was an emergency, but just at that moment... Hey! I heard a third person and froze in my tracks. Another one. You want my help? Who the hell are you? Do you want me to help or not? Decide now. Help me! Right after the woman spoke. All right, your god is here. What is your problem? Stay out of this. Headshot. I was watching the events unfold and I couldn't do nothing but remain frozen exactly where I was standing. The man in flashy clothes that appeared out of nowhere watched the woman run off and shrugged. Come on, no thanks for the hero? Anyways, I need to practice more with live rounds. He ignored the person he killed and started gleefully talking to himself. The man who was shot there laid bleeding from his head. What should I do? What should I do? I was confused. I didn't know what to do. He saved the woman, but he shot another person dead. I had to report this to the station. I tried to take out my cell phone, but my trembling hands made me drop my firearm. Oh no. Who's there? Without time to take cover or run away, I stood in front of him defenseless. What, did you see it? I'm asking if you saw me be cool and punish that evil doer. Pointed his barrel at me and I quickly looked at my own firearm on the ground, and when he realized what I was looking at, what do you think you're doing with something so dangerous? Are you my enemy? I am... Well, which is it? He casually walked up next to me and I cried out in panic. I'm a police officer. One shot, one kill. Dang, the police are all useless, so you all deserve to die, idiot. What a weird way to die. I mean, I knew I was gonna die. I just didn't realize it was gonna be so dramatic. Don't go down dark paths. Does that girl get saved still? All right, let's take our normal route. I shouldn't. Even though I was armed, I shouldn't tempt fate. Who knows what could happen? I should try to reduce risk to myself as much as possible. I doubled back to my usual route and walked back home the same way I always do. Oh, man, she's a terrible police officer. I'm glad I got home before midnight. Time to jump in the bath and there was another pair of shoes neatly lined up next to Kazuki's. These are Akito's shoes. Wondering if he was staying the night, I went to Kazuki's room. The lights are off. It was late, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were asleep. I'll ask him whether or not he asked Akito's family to let him stay over after he wakes up. That decided, I went to take a bath and rid myself of the day's fatigue. side. X-Day incident report for April, May. X-Day incident report of the X-Day incidents. April 1st, a video of 4 people looking like tied up police officers is broadcast at Shinjuku train station. A voice masked by a voice changer listed the sins that the 4 had committed and then declared that they would receive just judgment. Then, countdown to X-Day 9 was displayed. Many witnesses assumed the video as a prank, but the police traced the source of the broadcast and moved to investigate it. Then it was discovered that several police officers from Shinjuku precinct were missing. However, the investigation went nowhere and May 1st came. This time, a video was broadcast across Japan showing the 4 costumed... oh no, it doesn't have it on there. The police monologue. The police officers were shot one by one on video, and then the perpetrator declared this to be their judgment and that it was justice. The perpetrators called themselves Adonis. The nation was shocked. Adonis was the name of the terrorist organization which had attempted to assassinate the prime minister 2 years ago. Countdown to X-Day 8. The countdown to their so-called rebirth continued. Then the police reached the scene of the crime. They confirmed the death of 1 officer. Bloodstains of several other people were found at the scene, but the other 3 victims were not found. I mean, if they showed them all get shot, maybe one of them. The Japanese public reacted in various ways to the countdown. There was no shortage of people in the world who deserved judgment for sins they'd committed. Someone wanted to save this world that was filled with sorrow. To create their vision of an ideal world, the plan began smoothly. We had no intentions of lightening our judgment. All would be reborn. Until then, I did turn out the voice of others, so I wonder if I turned off the weird scrambly voice, which would be funny, but I mixed sugar and chopped scallions into the scrambled eggs and mixed them to whip air in. Then I fried the mixture in a light oiled pan and finished cooking fluffy eggs with scallions. This should be good for lunch. I looked towards my phone sitting on the dining table. Enomoto still hasn't gotten back to me. I had felt snubbed by the way he had said he didn't trust me and then just abruptly left in the middle of the conversation. I have to talk to him in person if I want to get him to trust. Maybe I should stop by the office today. Contemplating what to do, I continue to prepare breakfast. When Kazuki and Enomoto came into the living room, I just finished making breakfast.
おはようございます、お姉さん。すみません。またお邪魔してます。
Good morning. Sorry for imposing on you again. Good morning, Akito. You're totally happy. We're totally happy to have you, but did you tell your family you'd be here?
大丈夫です。母が今度お礼がしたいって言ってました。
Yes, it's okay. My mother said she wanted to thank you next time. Oh, no need. I would like to meet her, though. Your family also looks after Kazuki sometimes. When I glanced at Kazuki, he had turned away like he had nothing to do. Ignoring me, eh? It's the same as ever. I just made breakfast. Please have some if you like.
実は起きた時、いい匂いするなって思ってたんです。
Really? Actually, it smelled really good as soon as I woke up.
こんなの大したもんじゃねえよ。さっさと食って、さっきの話の続きしようぜ。
This is nothing. Just hurry up and eat so we can go talk to him again.
も何も、相手はあの一色さんだしさ。もう決めちゃっていいんじゃない？
But this is Ishiki. We've talked about. Haven't you already decided?
そう
Ishiki?
なんですよ、お姉さん。実は
Yeah, he's actually.
こいつはこんな話興味ねえよ。
話すだけ無駄だ。
That's so mean, my bro. She doesn't care, Akito. There's no point to talk to her. With a sour expression, Kazuki took a seat and started eating.
それじゃあ俺もいただきます。
I'll have some too then. Sure, help yourself. While serving breakfast to Kazuki and Akito, I quietly sighed to myself. He doesn't feel like talking to me. He was always cold to me at home, but Akito made it seem like that Kazuki had a wider group of friends. He played guitar as a hobby, so he might have met them through that. Wait, Izaki is... I realized that I'd heard that name during a music program on TV a few days ago. No, there's no way a high school student would know someone famous enough to be on TV. When I placed another dish in front of Akito, I looked at him. He met my eye and then just started racking into the food. He doesn't look like he'll tell me even if I decided to ask. I was curious, but it was about time to leave for work, so I quickly cleaned up and left. Soon after I arrived, I set about answering a stream of phone calls. Yesterday's incident had been publicly acknowledged as being tied to X Day. We had been preparing for this to an extent, but it still stung to know that we had failed to prevent another X Day attack. I answered every phone call in sincerely as I could. At some point of the day, I made eye contact with Mochida and he looked exhausted. Are you all right, Mochida?
ああ、お前こそ平気か？さっき怒鳴られてるのが受話器越しに聞こえたぞ。
Yeah, what about you? I heard some screaming on your phone a second ago. It was someone who was at the scene yesterday. She was asking why we were being dishonest and didn't just immediately announce that it was an X-Day
あの時
crime.
はコインの解析結果がまだ出てなかったからな。
Yeah, but our analyst on the coin wasn't finished yet. Once I explained to her that we couldn't lightly spread unverified information, I think she got
そう
it.
か。俺の方も似たり寄ったりだ。これ以上区民の不安を煽るような事件は。
I see. It's been pretty much the same for me. I just hope nothing else happens to stir up the public. There seems to be some commotion.
ひょっとすると。
Don't tell me. Hey, on the video site, there's another X-Day video. Upon hearing those words, I reflexively began typing on my keyboard. X-Day, only 23 days until rebirth. Is this a park somewhere? There's a fire near a public restroom. Excessive love can become a dangerous weapon. This is doubtably true for delusional love. A terrified woman is threatened. Oh my god, I just scared the crap out of myself. Hang on, I dropped my little dragon. But it hit my leg and I thought there was a bug crawling up my leg. Oh god, that scared me. Okay. A terrified woman is threatened on a nightly basis, yet the police ignore her plight. Adonis will let fall the hammer of judgment for all of our fellow women who have endured such terror. A dark figure was visible in the roaring flames. Could that be?
通報が相次いでる。手遅れだろうな。
The reports keep coming. We're too late.
昨日と同様、特防にも応援要請が来てる。星野、お前はここで待機だ。
Like yesterday, they're requesting SRCPO backup. Hoshino, I want you to stand by here, but
こっちはこっちで人手がいるからな。
we need people responding here too. Yes, sir. I hit the button too fast. December 8th, 1 p.m. Dun, dun, man. Okay. I guess I can't see it. After that, I kept answering the torrent of phone calls, repeating my responses and apologies. After a while, the panic finally died down and I was finally able to break. That was really tiring. I was feeling overwhelmed by sleepiness. You look worn out. You still alive? I turned to face the voice of Shigorawara was standing there, holding a large hot dog. I was wondering if you'd get swamped after another Adonis attack. Looks like my suspicions were right. Donis. Wait, today's been confirmed too?
コインが一致したからね。それと今回の実行犯は7月の事件に関わりがあるらしい。
The coin matches. I'm also hearing that the perp this time has a connection to the July homicide. The July case. Yesterday's crime was related to August, and now this one was related to July. That's right. The statement in the video said, "For all our fellow women who have endured such terrors, this suggests a connection to the stalker." Excuse me. I interrupted Shigawara and looked at my phone. Come to the office today. I don't have the right to refuse.
急にげんなりしちゃって。嫌な知らせでも来たの？
You look suddenly dejected. More bad news? No, not
遠
really.
慮しないで言ってみなって。ストレス溜め込むとハゲるよ。
Feel free to talk to me. You'll lose your hair if you let the stress build up. I suddenly reached for my head and Shigawara
ここでずっとこもってるのも良くないし。
You
息抜きにさ、昼ご飯上で食べない？
you shouldn't stay cooped up here forever. Why don't you eat lunch on the roof with me? Okay. I picked up my lunch and coat and went to the roof to join Shigawara for lunch. As one might expect, being that it was December, nobody beside us was eating on the rooftop. Even with a coat, it's pretty cold up
So?
here.
私は結構外にいること多いから、大して気にならないけど。
Really? I'm outside a lot, so it doesn't bother me all that much. We sat next to each other on the bench, and Shigawara chomped down on her hot dog. She sure loves her food. Look at her go. Watching her eat made me hungry, and I opened my lunchbox.
お、そのミートボール美味しそう。
Oh, those meatballs look tasty. You can have one if you'd like.
星野、あんた分かってんね。
Are you sure? Hoshino, you totally get me. Shigawara popped a meatball in her mouth, and her eyes lit up.
うまい。ねえ、もう一個もらっていい？
Hey, can I have one more? Go ahead. Because she took such delight in my cooking, I ended up just giving her all the meatballs I'd made.
いやー、なんか力がみなぎってきた気がする。
I feel totally rejuvenated. I'm so glad I get to know you. You're flattering me.
で、どう？ X デー事件の捜査は進んでるわけ？
Made any progress so far in your X-Day investigation? I'm working with Enomoto now, but it's actually not going very well.
なんで？Enomotoなんてあの事務所の中じゃ一番扱いやすいじゃん。
Huh? I figured out that bunch Emoto would be the easiest to deal with. Really? He seems to be avoiding me
避けら
though.
れる？ああ、それはあれでしょ。あいつ女に免疫ないから。
Avoiding you? Oh, it's gotta be his issue. That guy loses his cool around women.
ムカつくね。私に対してはそうでもないんだけどさ。
Though it irritates me a little that he's not like that with
女と
me.
1対1で話したり、目を合わせたりするだけで胸が苦しくなるらしいよ。
It's hard for him to talk to women one-on-one or even make eye contact. He's that bad? We made eye contact when we talked yesterday, though he looked away
あいつって見
immediately.
るからに。どう？かわいそうだから明言はしないでやるか。
He's obviously... Well, I feel bad for him, I shouldn't say.
ま、慣れれば落ち着いてくるだろうからさ。広い心で待ってやりなよ。
He'll be okay once he gets used to you. Just be patient. Huh. I felt like it was more because he doesn't trust me than because I'm a woman. Still, I'd learned that I had to be sensitive around him, so this had been
あ、
informative.
そうだ。Enomotoが頼れないなら、佐竹さんを紹介しようか。
Oh, right. If Emoto is giving you issues, then why don't I introduce you Sadaki? Sadaki?
そう。機捜のベテラン刑事で、X デー事件の初動捜査に関わってる人。
He's a veteran detective, and he's involved in the preliminary analysis on X-Day crimes. Preliminary analyst. This is the first part of the investigation done immediately after a crime has been committed, and it is usually done by the field operation unit.
Enomoto も在職時代には、俺の師匠だっつって慕っててね。
Back when Enomoto was on the force, he'd refer to Sadaki as my
まあ実
master.
際、佐竹さんは義理人情に熱いとこあるし、
Sadake
何
actually
かと助けてくれると思うよ。
got a strong sense of duty and compassion, so I... think he'll be good to help. I should obviously gather information about the crimes, but this could be a chance to learn more about Enomoto. Oh, please introduce us.
了解。時間見つけてあんたのことは話しといてあげ
Okay,
る。
sure. I'll find time to tell him about you. Thank you.
このくらいはね、ミートボールのお礼ってことで。
It's the least I can do for repaying you for those delicious meatballs. I'm so glad I packed meatballs for lunch today. I could be introduced to a valuable ally in exchange for a portion of my lunch. I'm excited enough to forget about the cold. It looks like Mochida still isn't back. Maybe I can take a few minutes. Shigawara lent me the April and May case files, figuring I'd need them in my investigation. I read through the files. 4 police officers have been taken captive, and one of them had been confirmed killed. The victim was Yuta Fuji, an officer who worked at a local police box. In April, Adonis had listed the sins that the officers had committed 2 years ago. He had performed a mistaken arrest. However, the matter had been quickly settled out of court. The people who mistakenly arrested was Yashihiro Ishiki and Tomoki Ogata. Yasuhiro Ishiki? I had heard that name this morning. Now I remember he wasn't as well known at the time, but his arrest made the news. My meatballs had given me the file, and Shigawara had told me to pay her back whenever I felt like it. But she was already going to introduce me to Sadaki, so I couldn't keep asking her for help. So who else can I ask? Shiraashi came to mind. He had shown an unusual interest in my collar. I'm not sure I want to do this, but here goes. I don't know where he's at. Oh, it's telling me where to go. I see. No, it's not. When I timidly knocked on the door and opened it, she was waiting for me, grinning. It looked like everyone else was
君が
out.
4月と5月の事件を担当することになったって柳くんから聞いて、そのうち来るかなとは思ってたんだ。
I heard from Yanagi that you'll be working the April and May cases, so I figured you'd be swinging by at some
何
point.
せEnomotoくんは捜査に本腰を入れているとは思えないからね。たとえ苦手でも、君は俺のところに来るしかない。
Anyway, I doubt that Enomoto is putting any effort into his investigation, and even if you don't like me, you probably realize you basically had no choice. It's not that I don't like you. I wouldn't put it that way.
取り繕わなくてもいいよ。君露骨に俺のことを疑ってたもんね。
No need to sugarcoat things. You were pretty blunt about your distrust of me. That's just because the way you act and talk is not the most friendly.
言うね。やっぱり君は面白い。Enomotoくんじゃなくて俺のパートナーになってくれればよかった。
You said it. You are quite interesting. You should have become my partner instead of Shidashi's. I'm gonna be yours in the next game. It's fine. They both have bizarre fashion sense, but Shidashi's harder to deal with. So, about the case, I ignored the partner issue and tried to steer the conversation back on topic.
何でもいいから知りたいって顔に書いてある。
You want me to tell you anything you want to know anything I can tell you. It's written all over
で
your
もい
face.
まいちこの事件には興味が湧かなかったんだよね。
The thing is, this case just doesn't pique my interest. I don't think the problem is whether it's interesting or not. While I fought back the urge to ask for his input, she picked up a
4月の
tablet.
X デー事件の動画。まあ君も当然見たことあるでしょ？
The video from the April incident, I assume you've seen it already. Yes, but the police have thoroughly scrubbed the video from the internet, so it's hard to find anything now.
さらっと流し見するのと本格的に事件を調べるの前提で見るのとじゃ違うからね。
ひょっとしたら新たな発見があるかもよ。
Watching it spontaneously is profoundly different than studying it as part of the investigation. You might learn something new. With that, Shidashi tapped the screen and replayed the April video. In order to restore tainted Japan to health, the countdown to X Day will now begin. These people sinned while being sworn to judge evil themselves. Now we shall expose their sins of the great of these four to light of the day. Oh my gosh. Unlawful searches, mistaken arrest, embezzlement, fabricating evidence, and excessive use of force. They trampled on others for their own profit and gain, even driving them to suicide. There are victims who have lost their sanity and even their lives as a result of these acts, yet they made no attempt to atone for their sins and were allowed to continue. Can such actions ever be forgiven? Criminals such as these cannot be allowed to roam free. They must be judged. Our objective is simple: purge the corruption from the land and make Shinjuku the site of its rebirth. If you are afraid, then leave this land. We will not be stopped. But know this: no matter where you are, you will be judged. There are no exceptions. We will resurrect truth in this world. No longer will only the weak be prosecuted. Countdown to X Day 9. Back in April, we hadn't understood what they meant by judgment, but in May, it was made crystal clear.
この動画が流出した当初、世間の人々は肯定的だった。
At first, the public responded positive to the
環境
video.
の不祥事はとても叩きやすくてね、権威を笠に威張ってる人間を地に落とす。民衆はそんな展開が大好きなんだ。
It's easy to impuge the authorities for scandals. The masses love it when people in power get knocked down to a
だから
peg.
警察官の犯罪は格好のネタになる。あの警察官最低だよねって具合にさ。
The crimes of the police became a joke. The cops are scumbags. There's a public
でも
mood.
それはあくまでネタ。そんなに深くは掘り下げられない。
But they all thought it was a joke. Nobody looked past the
せいぜい
surface.
あの動画が本当なら彼らは裁かれるべきぐらいのものだ。
At best, some might have thought if this video is real, then they'll get their
でも
punishment.
5月の事件で風向きが変わった。君、あの時流れた動画は検証した。
After the May incident, though, everything changed. Have you examined the video from that month?
か
No.
なり拡散されたからまだネット上に残ってるみたいだけど。
It was streamed widely, so there should be videos of it on the internet. Shidashi brought up the video on the tablet and showed it to me. Thank you for waiting, everybody. The time for judgment is at hand. As we mentioned before, the people here are criminals. In order to cure Japan, such people must be exterminated. Judgment has been passed as a preview of X Day. This is not the end. Henceforth, we will continue to mediate out justice to aid our nation's rebirth. Our name is Adonis. Hear me well, listeners. Make sure that you remember this name, okay? May this world become a paradise. Countdown to X Day 8. It was still hard to believe that people's deaths had been broadcasted live to the public in this way. Moreover, the perpetrator had talked like they felt no
この
remorse.
動画を見て、世間は異常だ、殺すのはやりすぎと批判しだした。
When the public saw this, they decided that it was wrong and that killing was going too
現場
far.
には1名の遺体が残されてたけど、他3名は結婚のみで行方知れず。
Seems like there's a chance. One body was left behind along with bloodstains matching the other three. They're still
まあでも
missing.
事件発生から7ヶ月になるから、もうどこかで処理されちゃってるかもね。
Though it's been 7 months since so they might have been disposed of elsewhere by now. While Shidashi spoke casually of such things, he was gazing into my eyes.
君は動画を見てどう思った？
So what did you think when you watched the video? What I thought? Whew. I'm gonna keep yawning because it's so early. Okay. Their methods are wrong. She placed an index finger on my mouth as I was about to speak my thoughts. Then his finger moved down until it landed on the collar. Forgetting something critical. There's another person here. I immediately knew that he wasn't talking about another person in the room, but he was trying not to talk about the collar directly. It's fine to ask questions in the police station, but when someone asks you for your opinion, pay close attention to how you answer. You might get killed, you know? The chilling words made me swallow hard. I've been thinking ever since I saw the criminal's letter that day. The person who wrote it called you one of our sympathizers and a woman that had potential to inherit our will. The criminals think you are someone like them, but they still haven't accepted you. Shidashi lightly tapped the collar, meaning that this is an experiment, so to speak. An experiment? Yes, like a test. The criminals prepared something to test your worth. That's why if you express opposition to their brand of justice, you could end up getting hurt or even killed for such a miscalculation. Shidashi gazed at me and walked away. Without realizing it, I'd started to tremble. Choose your words with care, especially when you are asked questions like this one, understood? Yeah, I'll be more careful from now on. Shidashi had a... Oh no. Shidashi has a point. I've only been thinking about preventing people from knowing about the collar. The best way to change reckless behavior is to put someone through a simulation? So, do you think it worked? Yes. Good. I can tell the lesson stuck. We'll do our best not to die. Thank you very much. Concerned about how much he seemed to enjoy that, I left field support team. December 8th, 5 p.m. After lunch, I returned to my standard job of answering phone calls. Mochida had just returned from working at the crime scene, meaning my police work for today was over. I had to go over to the office due to Sasuke's summoning me. Though I'm not going to be able to offer much since I didn't go to the crime scene today. All I can report is that today's incident looked like it was connected to the X-Day case from July. I could already hear him calling me useless stupid cat. Wait, no, I can tell them that I'm going to be able to talk to Sadake. I just had to suck up whatever they threw at me. Patience was key. Still, answering phone calls for 2 homicides in 2 days really wore me out. I yawned. Get. Enomoto? What's he doing here? I thought I was alone, so I was completely relaxed. I immediately shut my mouth to hide the fact that I'd let a gaping yawn a moment ago. This was awkward, incredibly awkward. I wondered if he had seen me making a weird look or something. Enomoto slowly backed away from me, his lips curled into a frown. Wait, what? Out of the blue, he turned and sprinted away from me. Why are you running? I followed him, but like Yanagi mentioned, his field op experience wasn't just for show. I gradually fell behind him until I completely lost sight of Enomoto. Wait! In my attempt to chase after him, I stumbled and fallen. I scraped my knee on in the fall and now it was bruised. Enomoto had gotten away and I had taken a massive spill. When it rained, it certainly poured. After I sighed and tried to stand up, I noticed a shadow racing towards me. Enomoto,
大丈夫か
are you okay? My voice is cracking. Water, not cola. I'm low on soda. I scraped my knee.
なんだって俺のせいだよな
What is this, my fault? No, I was just careless.
だってどう考えても俺が逃げたせいで
No, this is obviously because I ran away from you and I made you follow. He feels like a guy who needs like his hand in his face all the time.
男としてやっちゃいけねえっていうかかっこ悪すぎだろ
A man should never let a woman get hurt. That's way too lame. I'd only tripped, but Enomoto seemed rather taken aback by all this. It's nothing much. Please don't worry about me.
バカそんなわけにいくかおぶされ
Stupid. Like I could. I'll carry you there.
どうせ
Huh?
タケルに呼び出されて事務所に行く途中なんだろだったら俺が運んでってやるよ
You're on the way to the office because Takeru asked you to show up, right? So I'll take you there. Enomoto got on his knees in front of me and looked expectantly at me.
いいから遠慮すんな
It's alright, don't be shy.
ああもうじれったいなしゃがんでやってんだから早くしろって
Come on, I'm getting impatient. I'm kneeling here, so get on. What is he getting all mad at me for? He's the one who ran off. I really wanted to refuse, but I felt sorry for Enomoto because he looked so harried by the experience. Despair? Oh, goodness. Well, if you don't mind, then. Look at my bruise. Ah, what's wrong?
あんまギュッと抱きつくと背中にあれだ
When you squeeze me that hard, my back, those.
これ式のことでどうしてどうするこういう時は考えるな感じろ
Why am I getting so worked up? At times like this, don't think, feel.
違う感じてどうするそうじゃなくて心を無にしてたな
It's not what I meant. I shouldn't feel them. I need to empty my mind. What? If I'm too heavy, should I get down?
バカ言えこれくらい全然重くねえっての
Don't be stupid. You're not heavy at all.
軽すぎなくらいだ
Actually, you're almost too light. Are you eating enough? Enomoto's tone softened slightly and he started walking.
さっきは逃げて悪かったメールも返信してねえしさ
Sorry for running off earlier and for not texting you back. Yeah, I was shocked at you running off.
そうだよな
Yeah, I got the wrong idea. I'm glad you came back for me, though. You could have just left me
いや
behind.
そりゃだってな
No, that's,
あれで無視とか男が廃るじゃねえか女が困ってたら手を差し伸べてこそ
If I ignored that, I'd be a failure of a man. A true man always extends his hand to a woman in need.
戦国時代でも女を大切に扱った武将の逸話は多いからな
In the Sengoku era, there are many stories of commanders who treated women well. Enomoto, are you a big history buff or something?
なんだお前も好きなのか
Yeah, you're into it too. I wouldn't say I'm into it, but I do have a passing interest in history.
その辺の尺度は人それぞれだからなちなみに日本史と世界史どっちが好きだ
Well, it's different for everyone. By the way, do you prefer Japanese or world history? Japanese, if I had to choose, I could never remember all the names from the world history.
わかるわかるカタカナばっかでむずいよな俺も日本史
Yeah, it's tough to
特に
remember all
戦
the
国時代が
katakana.
好きでさ
I like Japanese history and Shingoku era mainly. I nodded along with his opinion in
武
earnest
将の生き
agreement.
様ときたら最高にしびれるぜ織田信長武田信玄豊臣秀吉
great for me to butcher some words. I get super hyped when I read all about how all the great leaders of the past live. Oda Bunaka, Takede Shinjin, Toyotomi Hideyoshi. I did my best. Enomoto carefully recounted the names of famous historical figures. As I listened, a sudden realization dawned upon me. The Shingoku period. Is that why you wear an eye patch?
その様子だと気づいたみたいだな。
So you finally discerned the reason.
この眼帯、これこそ。
This eye patch is
かの
indeed
有名な独眼竜、伊達政宗公を俺がリスペクトしてる。何よりの証。
It's my ultimate mark of respect for the one-eyed dragon, Date Masamune.
最高にかっけえだろ。
So, aren't I the coolest?
もうお前、今笑った？今のは笑うとこじゃねえよ。
Did you just laugh? You just laughed, didn't you? Yeah, I did.
これ、笑うなっての。
Stop laughing.
俺は笑わせたくて言ってんじゃねえ。本気なんだぞ。っていうか、どこに笑う部分あったよ。
I wasn't joking around. I was being super serious here, you know? What part of this was funny? I'm sorry, but it was cute.
なぜだ。なぜみんなこの話をすると笑ったり生
Why
温
do
かい目
people
になる
laugh
ん
or
だ。
look like they feel sorry for me whenever I bring it up? My laughter was surely because of Enomoto's personality, not because I was making fun of his fondness of history.
後にも先にも柳先輩だけだぜ。黙って俺の話を聞いてくれたのはさ。
That leaves only Yanagi. He's the only one who quietly listens to my reason. I'm going to assume that was probably because he wasn't sure how to react.
け、いいよ別に。女にこのロマンがわかるかっつうの。
Fine, whatever. Like a girl would ever understand. But I do think the way people live was rather dramatic. And they left us many wise sayings and teachings. We can learn a lot from them.
言うじゃん。でも、内心呆れてんじゃねえの？タケルにも散々バカにされたしな。
You say that sure, but you're actually shocked, aren't you? Takeru made fun of me. I'm not shocked. I think it's wonderful that you're so passionate about history. I don't know very much about history, so please tell me some more next time, if I feel like it. Although Enomoto's reply was curt, he definitely seemed happier, and I was happy that he had decided to meet me halfway. Although he had told me to get down once we were at the office, Enomoto continued up the stairs with me on his back.
よし、到着っと。俺、消毒液と絆創膏を持ってくるな。
There we go. I got bandages and antiseptic. Putting me down on the sofa, Enomoto quickly went deeper into the room. I forgot to thank him.
昨日とはえらい違いだな。
Pretty noble of him compared to yesterday. I love you so much, Sasuke! Sasuke had been watching us, his eyes widened slightly.
待たせたな、星野。さあ、これを使え。
Sorry for the wait, Hoshino. Here, use these. Enomoto rushed back over with me with a first aid kit. Thank you. I disinfected the wound and put a bandage on it. I finally sighed.
大丈夫か？
Are you okay? It's just a little scrape. It'll be fine. More importantly, thank you for carrying me all that way.
おお、いいよ、礼なんて。元はといえば俺のせい
Sure,
だし。
no need to thank me. It was my fault to begin with. Is he being bashful? Seeing Enomoto look away, I smiled softly.
で、
So, just as the mood was finally calm, Sasuke interrupted it. I'm sorry for making you wait. You called me here today
焼死事件についてに
because
決まってんだろ。知ってること話せ。
because of the guy who got set on fire, of course. Tell me what you know. Well, I knew it'd be about that. I was getting accustomed to Sasuke's brusque manner? No. I didn't get to the scene today, but the information I got from Sugawara said...
なるほどな。昨日は8月、 今日は7月の事件に関わる。
He's so cute. I see. Yesterday was tied to August, and today's crime is connected to July. I'm concerned about that too. They also seem to be somewhat sudden crimes.
そうそう、俺も全く同じことを思ってた。気になるよな。
Yeah, that. I was thinking the same thing. That's
ろくに考え
interesting.
ねえで周りに合わせてんのがバレバレなんだよ、バカが。
It's obvious you're just agreeing without putting literally any thought into it, idiot.
なんだよ。考えなしでも直感で気になったっていいだろ。
What's wrong with going with my gut and being interested even if I didn't think about it? Normally, Yanagi would intervene here to calm Enomoto down. Where is Yanagi today?
捜査に出たっきり帰ってきてない。あの人のことだし。
He
足
went
で情報を
out
集
to
めてんだろ。
investigate and hasn't come back. Knowing him, he'll probably be getting intel on foot. I see. It must be difficult to investigate after quitting the police. As I was sympathizing with Yanagi, Sasaki snorted at me in derision. Oh my god. Derision? No, we did it.
毒仕込まれた首輪をつけられてる割に、ずいぶん落ち着いてんな。
You're awfully relaxed for someone wearing a poison collar. Eh?
お前ってさ、本気で事件解決する気あんの？
I'm talking about you. Are you serious about solving this thing? Of course I
バカ
am.
か。もっと死ぬ気で捜査しねえと、そこにいるお偉い犯罪者様にゴロッ。
Oh my god, I got so caught up in reading it. I wonder if you don't try to a little harder, the mighty terrorist Adonis might just kill you. Both Shidashi and Sasaki now, why is everyone feeling the need to remind me of the collar? It wasn't as if I didn't think about it. I could feel the cool metal on the collar that with every heartbeat, and it's always brought me down.
首輪についてはさ、あんま触れない方がいいんじゃね？
Can you give it a rest with all that stuff about her collar?
もし好きでやられたんじゃねえなら、こいつだって怖いだろうし。
It's not like she asked for this. I'm sure she's scared already. Surprisingly, Enomoto suddenly stood up for my defense, but Sasaki only directed his caustic gaze at him and sighed.
アドニスに繋がるかもしんねえやつを一番嫌ってたのはどこのドイツだ？
What happened to the guy who was against bringing her here because of her possible ties to Adonis?
それは変わんねえよ。こいつの疑惑が晴れたわけでもない。
That hasn't changed. My doubts haven't been erased.
わざわざ首輪のこと挑発する必要だってねえはずだろ。
But I don't think you need to bring up the collar on
他人にかまけて
purpose.
る暇あるのかよ。自分の捜査全く進展してねえくせに。
Do you have time to worry about others when you've... Oh goodness. What are words? Do you have time to be worrying about others when you've got no progress on your investigation? Enomoto looked down, chewing his lip. Watching him, Sasaka clicked his
だ
tongue.
んまりかよ。お前
Nothing
何
to
のため
say.
にここにいるわけ？
What are you even
起訴を
doing
やめたの
here?
も事件を追うためだろ。だったら、そのために動いてみせろよ。
You quit field ops to pursue X Day, right? Then man up and start doing it. Enomoto opened his mouth as if to retort, but then hung his head helplessly again. Why doesn't he say anything? I resisted the impulse to ask the obvious question. Though we were working on the same case, I still didn't know why Enomoto had decided to investigate them. Whenever I had asked him before, he said he didn't trust me and then dashed away at full speed, but he carried me all the way here after I fell. Even if his doubts had created a gap between us, he seemed like someone who was kind enough not to ignore a person in need. Someone like him had quit the police to pursue this complex string of crimes. He had to have a good reason. Sasaka, I hesitantly spoken up. I just became partners with Enomoto, and I don't know him very well, but if he quit the police to chase this, I think he had to have his reasons, and you must have them too. But if you're criticizing him just because he hasn't shown results yet, so isn't any progress better than none?
バカ猫の分際で言ってくれんじゃねえか。
You've got quite a mouth on you for a stupid cat. He glared at me and I tensed up in fear, but I couldn't back
逃
down.
げ回ってばっかで 自分の意見もろくに言えねえやつよりはマシか。
Well, all he's done is run around, so my opinion still far outweighs the good for nothings. Sasuke still glared at Enomoto, gave him an indecipherable look, and continued.
バカ猫の言う通りだな。俺が何か言ったところで何も変わらねえ。
The stupid cat is right. No matter what I say, it won't change
お前がいつ
anything.
までも立ち止まってる限りな。
Not as long as you're
そこ
stuck
にい
in a
るだけじゃ
rut.
無意味なんだよ。
There's no point in staying there. With that last remark, he picked up his notebook, computer, and left the office.
うるせえ。
Jackass.
そんなの俺だって分かってんだよ。
Even I could tell you that much. Enomoto muttered to himself. He seemed terribly depressed. Unsure whether I should continue down this topic, I didn't know what to say to Enomoto. December 8th, 7 p.m. Sorry. In the end, we were both cowed by Sasuke's words and decided to leave the office. Once I calmed down, I remembered the thing that I had blurted out. Minamoto, I'm sorry for being so presumptuous to Sasuke.
いや、お前が謝ることねえよ。むしろ、あんな形でかばわれるとは思わなかった。
Nah, you got nothing to apologize for. Actually, I didn't expect you to defend me. We both walked for a while, ended up at the front of the train station. Am I imagining things? Has Enomoto been glancing over at me for a while now? Is there something on my face?
ああ、違う違う。そうじゃなくてよ。ここで会った時、
No, it's
あ
not
くびして
that.
たなって。
You were just yawning when I saw you here earlier. Please forget you saw that.
そんなに恥ずかしがることねえだろ。
It's nothing to be
い
shy
ろんな
about.
事件が立て続けに起こってんだ。精神的にも肉体的にも。
There's been all these murders, so everything's bound to take a toll on your mind and body. You can't help but be exhausted. Enomoto surprised me. I thought he would laugh at me.
でさ、そんな状態でタケルの毒舌攻撃なんか食らったら、そりゃひとたまりもねえっつうか。
Yeah, so getting saddled with a poison collar in the middle of all of that, that's just a raw
気を落とす
deal.
のが普通だと思うぜ。
I think it's normal for you to feel down, you know? Plus, you stuck up for me. Takeru yelled at me. That guy just doesn't know when to hold back. Seeing Enomoto's pained expression, I couldn't help but give him a bitter smile. I chose to do that myself. Besides, I still haven't lost my hope or heart yet. I'm going to put my all into standing up for Adonis from now on.
お前って強いんだな。
You're strong in a lot of ways. What's that supposed to mean? I feel like you're making fun of me.
してねえよ。
I'm not.
よし、英気を養うために、このミネオ様が飯を売ってやろう。
Alright then, to restore your drained spirit, the mighty Mineo will treat you to dinner. Now?
いいからいいから。これぞ、兵は神速を尊ぶってやつだ。
Listen well, Grasshopper, this is why soldiers value swiftness. The idiotism refers to combat where a moment's delay can lose the battle, so being swift and decisive is of the utmost importance. I don't think that's what the saying means.
いいんだよ。こういうのはノリと雰囲気が大事なんだ。
Forget it, okay? Mood and morals are what's important here. It was amusing to see Enomoto's attempt to sagely wave a fan in the heat of winter. Heh, I see. An army march on its stomach, does it?
そうだ。戦の前の腹ごしらえは基本中の基本だ。
Right? It's the basic of basics to fill your belly before battle. Don't hold back and eat up. Then I will take you up on that offer.
苦しゅうない。
No problem.
うん。じゃあ早速行こうか。
Okay, then let's get going.
うわ
こん
Okazaki!
ばんは、猫さん。
Good evening, kitty
俺
cat.
も仕事が終わってお腹が減ってたんだ。ミネオくんがおごってくれるなんてラッキーだね。
I'm off work, so I'm hungry. I'm lucky that you're treating
い
me,
やいやいや
Mineo.
誰もお前にまでおごるなんて言ってねえけど。
No, who said anything about you getting free food?
てか、まずどっから出てきたんだよ、お前は。
Plus, where the heck did you come from? Don't sneak up on people. Are you a ninja?
まあまあ、細かいことを気にする男はモテないよ。
Now, men who sweat the detail aren't popular, you know?
も
They aren't?
いいだろう。だったら存分に味わわせてやるよ。
Very well, you may indulge yourself in your heart's
この
content.
榎本峰夫様の懐の深さ。細かいことをスルーする生き様をな。
The noble and gracious Mineo Enomoto pays no heed to trivialities.
やった。ここ数日あんまり食べてなかったからたくさん食べようっと。
Yay! I haven't eaten in a few days, so I'll be sure to fill myself up.
だって
But now,
財布
my wallet. Now he cares.
札はある。しかし1000円札。
Got cash, but only in like 1,000 yen notes. I barely got 5,000 total. Should I chip in?
いや、男に二言はない。お前は気にすんな。
No, ma'am. A man never goes back on his word. Don't you worry.
足りるかな。
I hope I have enough. Are we going to be okay?
ねえ、早く行こうよ。ステーキが俺を呼んでるんだ。
Let's go. I can hear the state calling me.
はあ？ステーキだと？いやいや、待て待て、落ち着け。今日はあれだ。肉は危ない。
What? Steak? No. No, calm down. Relax. Today is, yeah, no, that meat is dangerous.
そういう
Dangerous?
ことで、今日は俺の行きつけの店に行くからな。反論は許さねえぞ。ノーモア贅沢だ。
That settles it. We're going to my favorite place today. No complaints allowed. No more luxury. I assume it was someplace cheap and followed Enomoto. At least I've learned a little bit about the kind of person Enomoto is.
お前がいつまでも
We don't read flashbacks. Based on the way Sasuke phrased it, something must have happened in the past. Maybe Enomoto would tell me about it someday, if not now. I hope we'll have more mutual trust as partners by then. That's what I was hoping for, at least. The police. Belief in justice. Rejection of evil. A wish to put the other's needs before yours. A desire to save others. I chose this path because I believed in that. I never turned back. I had always looked straight ahead. So how did I end up here? Where had I taken the wrong turn? All I knew for sure was that I had been foolish to be so blindly devoted. Now I was trapped in a cold reality. My fleeting dreams vanished into thin air. I have no idea how far I will fall. All I can do now is await judgment. Chapter 2. December 9th, 12:30 a.m. It's right I'm here, right? Oh my gosh. Dyslexia is fun sometimes. I stopped in front of a room. Field Operations Team 2. It was a department that worked with forensics and detectives mainly for preliminary investigations for assault, homicide, and other heinous crimes. Of course, the X-Day crimes were in their domain. It's Enomoto's former team, too. I felt terribly out of place in this area as a SRCPO officer. That was because... 30 minutes ago, while eating lunch, I got a call from Sakuragawa. Has Shigowara learned something new about the incident? Excited, I picked up the phone.
中だったら悪いけど、ちょっと急ぎで鑑識まで来て。
Sorry to bother you during lunch, but I need you to come down to forensics. It's urgent. Shigowara, hello? She hung up without waiting for me to give her a reply. I don't understand, but this is no time for me to be enjoying lunch. I quickly scarfed down the rest of my food and headed to forensics. Wow. This looks hectic. The investigators seemed to be getting ready to head out to a crime scene. I might not be able to speak to Shigowara. Thinking that I looked for her.
あ、星野。
Hoshino. Shigawara wove her way through people coming and going and greeted
あんた
me.
に頼まれてた佐竹さんとの仲介さ。
Actually,
本当はこれから合わせ
I
よう
was
と思っ
just
てた
about
ん
to
だ。
introduce you to Sadake,
なのにどっかのバカのせいでこのありさまだよ。
but some idiot somewhere's got everyone riled up. Could it be another
窃
X
盗
day?
事件だから多分違うよ。そんなわけで私は付き合えないんだけど。
It's a theft case, so probably not this time. Anyways, I can't come with
佐
you.
竹さんには4月と5月の事件を知りたがってる子がいるって伝えといたから。
Anyways, I already told Sadake that there was a friend of mine who wanted to know more about the April and May incidents.
目として治安維持における情報の共有って名目でね。
I told him that SRCPO wanted to share information to better keep the public order.
あんたとあの事務所の関係は黙ったままにしてあるからさ。
For now, I haven't told him about you working with the guys at the office.
佐竹さんと実際会ってどこまで明かすかはあんたが決めな。
You can decide yourself how much to tell Sadake once you meet him. So you're
話は通し
saying
てあるからあんた一人で会いに行きなってこと。昼休み中にね。
he knows you're coming, so you can meet with him without me. We're on lunch break anyways. What? But that's so
どうせなら
sudden.
早い方がいいでしょ。相手は佐竹さんだし悪いようにはしないよ。
The sooner the better, right? Sadake's fine. He won't hassle you. But Shigawara's, we're going.
了解。じゃあ星野、あとは自力で何とかしな。
Alright, see ya, Hoshino. Carry on without me. With that, Shigawara left, tugging along her work equipment. Because she told me that, I hurried over, thinking that I couldn't hesitate. But now that I was here, I was nervous. Shigawara told me that he wouldn't treat me badly, but I'm about to go and meet a veteran detective. They're very busy in the field ops, so I'm stunned that he managed to make time for me. I timidly hovered by the door, but my lunch break was winding down. Okay, let's do this. I took a deep breath and knocked on the door. Excuse me. As soon as I entered, several men who looked like field ops detectives sharply turned their attention towards me. Slightly intimidated by all their gazes, I stumbled over my words. I'm Lee Hoshino from the Special Regions Crime Prevention Location Local Office. Is Mr. Kenzo Sadake currently present at this time? I raised my voice more than I usually did, probably because I was nervous. The room fell silent, but the next moment, SRCPO got some spunk. That man erupted into bright laughters, and their laughs echoed throughout the room. I liked how assertive she is. She's definitely cut out for our team. You're right. Maybe I'll put in the word with HR to hand this one over to us. Nice. It's downright dirty in here. If we had a girl like you around, it would put some pep in our step. The ugliest guy in Shinjuku precinct is going to try and give out other people crap? Nah, sir, my face is no match for that old man stink you got going on. I awkwardly stood there, then a voice suddenly called out from the back.
お嬢ちゃん、こっちに来てくれねえか。
Hey, young lady, come over here. I hurried over to the owner of the voice, who pulled me from the ocean of awkwardness. An older, weary man was waiting for me. Could this be? It is!
俺が佐竹健三だ。桜川から話は聞いてるぜ。
I'm Kenzo Sadake. Shigawara told me about you. His gentle smile immediately soothed away all my anxiety. I'm Lee Hoshino from the Special Regions Crime Prevention Office Local Office. I'm terribly sorry for taking up your time during such a busy day.
いやー、こいつは驚いた。桜川の知り合いって聞いて、てっきり男っぽいのを想像してたんだが。
Rude. I was just surprised. I imagined that any acquaintance of Shigawara would be more
それが
manly.
まさか、こんな礼儀正しいお嬢ちゃんだとはな。
But instead, you're a polite, well-mannered young lady.
ほら、桜川はあんな性格だろ。
Well,
女友
Shigawara's
達がい
got
るの
that
か、
personality,
ち
you
ょっと心
know?
配してたんだよ。
I was worried she didn't have any girlfriends.
くれぐれもこの話は桜川にしないでくれよ。またうざいって言われちまう。
Don't speak a word of this to her. if you don't mind. She'd just give me an earful again. Too late for that. Right, right. Your Papa Shinjuku, or what is Grandpa Shinjuku now?
勝手に人をじじい扱いすんな。まだ俺は現役バリバリだぞ。
Don't call me old. I'm still a fighting fit detective. Wow, that phrase is so old it's retired.
うるせえなったく。ここは騒がしくていけねえや。
Shut up, kid. It's too loud here.
ちょっと上に出ねえか。
Young lady, why don't you follow me upstairs? Oh, all right. Sadake's getting some alone time with one of the young ladies in the office. I'm so jealous.
これも仕事のうちだってな。俺がいないからってサボるなよ。
Listen, you. This is for work. Don't you slack off while I'm gone. Sir, yes, sir. I don't need to be on your bad side. Take your time.
騒がしい連中ですまねえな、お嬢ちゃん。
Sorry you had to endure all that back there, young lady. Not at all. This is different than what I imagined. Sadake and the other detectives were approachable despite their intimidating air. Their cheerfulness bore a close resemblance to Enomoto's style. I followed Sadake up to the roof where I was immediately assaulted by the winter chill.
悪いな、お嬢ちゃん。ちょいと寒いだろうが、我慢してくれ。
Sorry, young lady. It's a bit chilly here, so just bear with it. Please don't mind me, but the way you keep addressing me.
気になるか。俺からしたら、若いもんはみんなお嬢ちゃんか坊主だからな。
Does it bother you? From my point of view, you youngsters are all little boys and girls. When Sadake said that, an ear-to-ear grin, I couldn't help but smile back. It's just a little embarrassing to be called that at my age, but I know you're just saying it to be friendly, so I don't mind.
ああ、そうそう。ちょいと一服しても構わねえか？
Ah, good then. All right, do you mind if I light up out here? Not at all. Okay. My throat just keeps hurting. I've been talking for like 2 hours, so. Sadake took a cigarette out of his pocket and put it to his lips.
どうにも息抜きにはこいつが必要でな。ちまちま喫煙所で吸うよりかは、こっちの方がのんびりできていい。
I always need a place to relax. This place is better for relaxing than the smoking area. While watching Sadake take a puff of his cigarette, I considered how to approach the topic. This is my first time talking to someone in the police while hiding my X-Day investigation.
君は署内で聞き込み殺され
Yep,
ちゃ
that's right. People are listening to me and I could die. I got it. As Shirashi's pointed device said, a small slip of the tongue could endanger my life. How could I ask and make it sound natural? The more I pondered it, the drier my throat felt.
ひょっとしてお嬢ちゃんも緊張してるのか？
What's the matter? Are you feeling nervous? Eh? I was worried that my silence was suspicious, but Sasuke was giving me a toothy
い
grin.
や、実は俺もお嬢ちゃんみたいなこと話すのなんざ久しぶりでな。
Well, I actually haven't talked to a girl like you in a long time.
うちは男状態だろ。ああいう環境に染まりきってるから怖がらせちまったんじゃないかと思ってな。
It's all men in our office, you know. I spent so much time with those lugs that I wasn't sure if I scared you. Not at all, sir. On the contrary, I'm glad you're easy to talk to.
嬉しいこと言ってくれるね。桜川やうちの連中ときたら口やかましいだの親父だの好き放題言うもんだからよ。
Oh, I'm happy to hear it. Shigawara and the boys always call me a grumpy old
そんな
man.
風に言われたのは久々だが悪い気はしねえな。
I haven't heard praise like that in a while. It's a nice
このま
feeling.
まなんてことない話に花を咲かせたい気もするが、ぼちぼち本題に入るとするか。
Anyways, as much as I'd like to chit-chat with you all day, why don't we get to business? I straightened my back at Sadaki's turn and turned to
5
me.
月の X デー事件について特防としていろいろ聞きたいってことだったよな。
You're here as an SRCPO officer to pick my brain about the X-Day incidents that happened in April and May, right?
桜川に話を持ちかけられた時から気にはなっていたんだが、
Something struck me when Shigawara brought it up.
そして特防は関係ないんじゃねえか？
Could it be possible this actually has nothing to do with SRCPO? I was startled that he had hit the bullseye immediately. but I couldn't just give that away.
その様子だと図星か。
Your face tells me that I'm right. Oh,
隠そうとしても無駄だぜ、お嬢ちゃん。こちとら爆発を踏んでるんだ。
You can't hide it from me, young lady. I've got too much experience not to notice. His voice was quiet, but his words bore a lot of gravity. Before that, Oh, right. No matter how careful I was, he'd see through any deception I had thrown together. He was a detective with a wealth of experience. A sloppy lie wouldn't work on him. If I lose his trust now, I could lose my chance to learn anything about the X-Day crimes. Sadake didn't press me for more. In fact, he seemed to be observing me. I have to hide the collar and come up with a valid reason. Making up my mind, I answered. As you stated, the reason I'm here is to see you today has nothing to do with SRCPO. It's for a different reason that I called what I'd call a greater reason.
大きな理由ね。
Greater reason?
今度は嘘じゃねえみてえだな。
Doesn't look like you're lying this time. Sadake examined me with sharp eyes. Of course, he'd be wary after I lied to him once already. I braced myself for this do or die moment and carefully picked my words. I'm actually working with a certain group of individuals to investigate the X-Day
ある
crimes.
人たちに
A group? Yes, they operate outside the police force and are investigating X-Day independently. Sugawara is acquainted with them. When I told her that I wanted to research the crime, she introduced you to me.
X-Day 事件の捜査は特防の仕事じゃねえよな。
Investigating these crimes isn't part of your duty? No, but as long as they remain unsolved, the lives of Shinjuku citizens are under constant threat. I know that these cases can't be solved just by my efforts alone, but who's committing these acts and why are they doing it? I want to know the truth behind it all. I see. Some of what I said wasn't exactly truthful, but the X-Day crimes were a personal issue to me. Maybe that's why Sadake had believed me. If I assumed that he had heard enough from Sugawara to know my story matches, the people who introduced me to her are at a certain detective agency.
ひょっとしてそいつはEnomoto Mineoのいる場所じゃねえか
Are you talking about the place that Enomoto is right now? Yeah, that's correct.
そうか。Enomotoが絡んでたってわけだ。
He doesn't sound happy. I see. So Enomoto is mixed up in this.
道理で俺みてえな子さんがわざわざ選ばれたわけだ。
It makes sense that you'd come and seek out an old-timer like me. Sadake rubbed his jaw and then nodded approvingly. It makes a lot of sense that he'd know where Enomoto went off to after he quit the police force. But Sadake had visibly reacted when I said the phrase detective agency. That seems to strongly indicate that Sadake was concerned about
お
Enomoto.
嬢ちゃん。Enomoto は今も事件を追ってんのか
Hey, young lady, is Enomoto still on the trail? Eh? I was confused at the sadness in his expression as he asked the question. He's asking if Enomoto's still investigating? I've just started working with him recently, so I don't really know, but he didn't seem very enthusiastic about the investigation. Since I'm also researching the April and May cases, we're currently partners. I see. But his lack of enthusiasm might be because he hasn't accepted me yet. I'm fundamentally lacking experience, and I don't know if I can help much in a fight. It was depressing to say it, but it was definitely the truth. I'm doing my best so that he'll acknowledge me, but he doesn't seem to be going very well. I smiled bitterly as I stated my feelings. Sadake raised an eyebrow.
いや、お嬢ちゃんのせいじゃねえ。
That isn't your fault, young lady. It's not. Sadake put out his cigarette in a portable ashtray and looked at
事
me.
件のことを知りたがる理由ってのが生半可なもんなら突っぱねようと思ってたが。
If your reason for your curiosity has something half-hearted, I was going to turn you
あいつ
down.
が関わってんなら話は別だ。
But if he's involved, it's a
4
different
月と5
story.
月の事件について教えてやるよ。それから
I'll tell you about the
Enomoto.
April and May and about Enomoto. Sadake's face was serious. I nodded. Please. side story.
ただいま。あれ今日タケルは
I'm back. Hey, where's Tekaru?
今日はまだ来てない。榎本、それは
He's not here. What's that, Enomoto?
ああ、これっすかインスタントのご当地ラーメンです。
Oh, this? It's a special regional flavor of instant
スー
ramen.
パーで全国の売ってるの見つけて買ってきたんですよ。パッケージからして超うまそうなんだよな。
I saw them selling them at the supermarket nationwide, so I bought some. The package makes it super
そうだな。
tasty. Looks super tasty. I
い
see.
つも飯は柳先輩に頼り切っちゃってるし、今日はこれ、俺が作りますから。
I'm always relying on you to cook, so I'll make this today.
じゃあ榎本峰夫様特製、職人顔負けのラーメンを。
All right, prepare to taste the gourmet ramen of the great Mineo Enomoto, who shames seasoned chefs.
榎本、
Enomoto. Enomoto?
捜査の方
Yeah.
どうだ？
How's your investigation going?
えっと、
So-so?
後ろめたいことがないなら、ちゃんと俺の目を見て話せ。
If you got nothing to hide, then look at me when you talk.
別に後ろめたいことなんてないで
It's
す。
not like I'm trying to hide anything.
ほら俺、星野の面倒も見ないといけないし、だから忙しくて。
I have to keep one eye on Hoshino at all times, so I'm
本当
busy.
にそれが理由か？
Is that really why?
すみません。言い訳です。
Sorry. It's just an excuse.
お前がただ無意な時間を過ごしているわけじゃないのは分かってる。
You know that you can't afford to be wasting time now.
時間は有限だ。時間をかけて解決する問題ならいいが、そうじゃないのは。
Our time is very limited. If you were working on a time-consuming case, that would be fine, but you and I know this isn't true.
お前の恐怖を
Yeah. I
俺が
can't
拭ってやることはできない。ただ、お前に後悔はさせたくない。
I can't get rid of your fears for you, but I don't want you to regret your choice.
先輩。
Yanagi.
笹塚も気にしていたからな。何かあったら遠慮なく俺たちを頼っていい。
Sasuka is concerned too. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask us.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
俺、買い忘れたものがあったんで。
I
外出て
forgot
き
to
ます
buy something. I'll be right back. Done. Done. Ooh. After I patiently waited out for a little bit, Sadake managed to secure an empty interview room for
まあ
us.
かけてくれよ。
Have a seat. Yes, excuse me.
にしても人の縁ってのは不思議なもんだ。こうやってあいつの話をすることになるとな。
Boy, it's a small world. Never thought I'd be talking about him like this.
あいつ面白いやつだろ。みなりからして突飛で派手でよ。
Enomoto is an interesting kid, flamboyant in both appearance and behavior. He told me that his eye patch is a sign of respect for Date Masamune.
そうそう。警察官だってのに何考えてんだって話だよな。しかしあそこまで行くと笑っちまう。
Yeah, that I don't know what was going in his head. I just read that twice to make sure. Going out like that while he was a cop, but I laughed to see him take it that far. I did too, actually, but then he got pouty.
変わってねえなあいつは。貴様の一員だってのにいい意味でバカで。
He still hasn't changed. He was our field ops lovable
ほっ
goofball.
といても一人で騒ぐし、そのくせ変なとこで気遣いだったりしてよ。
He keeps up a fuss if you leave him alone, and he worries a ton about the strangest things. Once his mind is set on something, he just can't leave it
そうなんだ
be.
よ。考えるより先に行動しちまう典型的なタイプだな。
That's right. He's a very arch type of a guy who acts before he thinks. Sadake's eyes seemed very kind as he spoke about Enomoto, like those of a father boasting about his son. Maybe while Enomoto was in the field ops, they were close enough to feel like family. I recalled the bright and cozy atmosphere when I visited
俺から
field
見ても
ops.
あいつはいい警察官だった。誰よりも正義に燃えて、どんな小さなことも見過ごさないよう常に心がけてて。
From my perspective, he's a good cop. He's more passionate about justice than anyone, and he can never let the smallest wrong slip
誇りに持っ
by.
てこの仕事をしてたんだ。そ
He-
れがあだになった。
Does his job with pride that proved to be his undoing. We were both investigating the X-Day cases from April and May, but I had never seen Enomoto put any serious effort into it. It had been bothering me, but I didn't know if I should mention it. What happened to Enomoto? I yearned to find out. Maybe I could help, but we were only temporarily partners.
榎本が捜査に乗り気じゃねえって言ってたよな。それはな、警察を辞めてからの話じゃねえんだ。
Earlier you said he wasn't enthusiastic, right? That attitude didn't start after he quit the police. It didn't. You make it sound like it happened while he was in the police, but it clashed with what I had heard about Enomoto while he was an officer. If you think about his feelings, you probably won't understand why. Huh? Enomoto's afraid of digging into these cases. I remember. When that happened, he looked as if he was weighed down by some burden. Enomoto seems like someone who would have pursued the truth once. Is there some tragic event in his past that changed him somehow, so he's unable to do so anymore?
榎本にはこれぞ正義のあり方だと目標にしてた憧れてたやつがいたんだ。
Enomoto looked up to someone who, in his eyes, was the embodiment of justice. His name was Yuta Fuji. Yuta Fuji? I gulped when I heard the familiar name. The only confirmed death in the May killings that was broadcast.
そうだ。藤井も明るいやつでな。後輩思いで正義感の強い男だった。
Yeah. Fuji was a bright fellow. He looked after his juniors and was a good
そんな
cop.
藤井を榎本も慕っていてな。傍から見たら二人は兄弟みてえに見えたもんだ。
Enomoto idolized him. They looked like brothers when they were together.
お、藤井先輩、おはようございます。
Good morning, sir. You caught another burglar. Not bad. As expected for a rising star. I guess I want the turn sound back on. I just want it for the odd characters, but it's doing it for the voice of the bad guys. And this. You don't mean that, sir. All that flattery will get into my head.
マジで。お前が現場に遭遇する頻度と言ったらさ、やっぱ勘がいいんだよ、ミネオは。
Seriously, it's impressive how often you sniff these guys out. You've got good instincts, Mineo.
たまたまっすよ。ほんと偶然、見回り中に出くわして。
Not at all. I just stumbled upon him out on
忘
patrol.
れたのか？その偶然が大事だって前も言っただろう。
Did you forget? I told you those coincidences are important.
そうっすよね。
お前にとってはただの偶然でも、被害者にとっちゃ人生に関わるからな。
They might seem like mere coincidences to you, but they have real impacts on people's lives.
先輩がいつも言ってるそれ、ちゃんと忘れてません。
Yes, sir. You always say that. I won't forget it.
おお、偉い偉い。こうやってどんどん功績上げて。
Good, good. At this rate, you'll rack up so many commendations that you'll outrank me.
藤井先輩をそれはないない。
Outrank you, Detective Fuji? Ha 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 ha. There's no way.
お前が巣立つ日を思うと、ほんのちょっとだけ1ミリくらいは寂しい気持ちになるな。うん。
I don't know about that. I think it's only a matter of time until you leave the nest. It makes me feel a little tiny bit lonely.
それしか寂しくないんですか？もっと寂しがってくださいよ。
Only a little bit? But a little sad? Be a little sadder, man.
ていうか、俺が追っかけるのはずっと先輩の背中ですから。
I'm always chasing after
今日
your
の
back.
窃盗犯捕まえられたのだって先輩のおかげなんですよ。
I only managed to catch that thief today thanks to you.
先輩、
Why?
常日頃から周囲に目を配れ、 些細な違和感も見過ごすなって言ってくれてたじゃん。
Weren't you the one to tell me to keep my head on a swivel and never overlook the slightest
俺に
detail?
偶然を与えてくれたのは先輩なんです。だから俺だけの手柄じゃないっす。
I found those coincidences because of you, so these feats don't belong to me alone.
今日は何をおごってほしいんだ？
So what do you want me to treat you to today? Steak!
おごってほしいから言ったわけじゃないっすよ。
I'm not asking you to buy it for me though.
でも俺の手柄でもあるんだったらお前のおごりでもいいわけだよな。
Ah, this victory belongs partially to me too, so why don't you pay?
よーし、今日はステーキか。
Alright, steak dinner tonight.
そりゃないっすよ先輩。
No way, sir. He was killed by a Adonis. And it definitely wasn't an indiscriminative murder. He had been declared as one of the 4 criminal police officers and judged accordingly. Enomoto looked up to Fuji because he believed in his righteousness, but from the public's point of view, Fuji certainly looked like a bad man. I couldn't imagine how shocked Enomoto felt. He had lost the man who was his moral compass.
4月の動画の解析が終わってねえ段階から、榎本は拉致された一人が藤井だと断言してた。
Before we finished analyzing the April video, Enomoto told us all Fuji was one of the captives.
藤井先輩ですよ。間違いない。
That's Detective Fuji, I'm sure of
俺
it.
が先輩を見間違えるなんてありえない。絶対それだけはない。
I'd never mistake him for somebody else.
サムさん、
Never.
いたずらだとかのんきなこと言ってる場合じゃないですよ。
It's okay. We can't just be sitting on our hands assuming this is a
今す
prank.
ぐ上に掛け合ってください。じゃなきゃ先輩が。
Hurry up and open negotiations or else he'll...
だが、上層部はすぐに動かなかった。
The higher ups didn't move right
当時
away.
はまだアドニスって名も出てねえし、証拠はネットに流れた作りの荒い動画のみ。
The name
たち
Adonis...
の悪いいたずらって可能性もあったからな。
The name Adonis hadn't came up yet, and the only evidence was a grainy internet video. It still had a chance of being tasteless prank.
それから藤井を含む新宿内の警察官と連絡が取れないことが分かって、ようや
Only
く
once
本格的な捜査が始まったが、
once Fuji and the others Shinjuku officers fell off the grid, did the investigation finally
初
get
動捜
underway.
査が遅れたのは致命的なミスだった。進展のないまま5月になって、
What day? I'll stop yawning. All right. Delaying initial investigations was a crucial error. We made no progress until May, when the officers were executed on video.
もちろん身内が殺されて警察だって黙っちゃいねえ。
Of course, once the police couldn't stay quiet now that one of their own had been
皮肉なこ
killed.
とに、あれが流れたからこそ警察全体が捜査の方針を固めたからな。
Ironically, that video galvanized the efforts of the entire police
殺害
force.
現場を特定し、犯人を捕らえる。そのために俺も榎本も必死だったよ。
We wanted to find the scene and catch the killer. Both Enomoto and I were desperate to find them. I heard a little bit about the discovery of the body, but not much else. There were only the blood stains of the other officers aside from
それを見
Fuji.
つけたのは榎本だ。
Enomoto found those.
映像解析も難航してる段階で、ひたすら自分の足であらゆる場所を回ってた。
The video analysis was running into problems, so he ran all over the place trying to find them.
寝食を忘れて、魂ごと削るような執念でな。
He didn't eat or sleep. It was like his soul was fueled by his tenacity, like he'd changed into a
本
ghost.
当にアドニスの仕業なら、正直、手遅れだろうって署内ささやかれても、あいつだけは一人
In the
諦めなかった。
in the station, people said that if it really was the work of Adonis, then we were too late. But he's the only one who wouldn't give up.
当時のことは忘れられねえ。殺害の動画が流されたから5日後、
I'll never forget what happened 5 days ago. The video went online. 5 days after the video went
生
online.
々しい血の匂いが充満する部屋の中で、榎本は死人みてえな面をしてた。
I found Enomoto standing in a room that reeked of blood, looking like a corpse himself.
Enomoto.
Enomoto.
出たよ。
Why?
気持ちはわかる
Why?
が、現場保存だ。Enomoto、できるな。
I know how you feel, but you must secure the area. Can you do that, Enomoto? Can't be.
Enomoto、
嘘だ。
Enomoto. Can't be right.
嘘だ。
It's a lie.
認めね
I won't accept this.
え。許さ。
それからのEnomotoは犯人に対する憎悪に突き動かされてるみてえだった。
After that, Enomoto was driven by his hatred of the
あのお
killers.
ちゃらけた明るいバカが嘘みてえになりを潜めちまってな。
That idiot showed a side of himself I never
俺
guessed
やクソ
existed.
の連中の言葉も聞き入れず捜査にのめり込んでたんだが、
He dove into the investigation without talking to me or the other guys in field ops.
7月も目前って時に辞表を出しやがった。
And then he submitted his resignation right before July. During the middle of the
兆
investigation,
候が全くなかったわけじゃねえ。藤井殺害の背景を調べていくうちに少しずつあいつは変わっていった。
it wasn't completely without warning. While he chased the shadow of Fuji's murder, he started to
どう
change.
いうわけか。あれだけ強烈だった熱意や怒りが消えちまってな。
For some reason, all that ferocity, passion, and anger
藤井の
disappeared.
仇を取るんじゃなかったのかって聞いたら、あいつは無理して笑ってこう言ったんだ。
When I asked him if it was because he couldn't avenge Fuji, he gave me a horribly forced laugh and said,
何言ってんですか、佐竹さん。俺は諦めたわけじゃないですよ。
What are you talking about, Sadake? I haven't given up.
諦めるわけないじゃないですか。
I couldn't possibly give up.
そしてあいつは警察を辞めた。
And then he quit the police. Enomoto acted like the officer's mood maker, but he never guessed that his past was like this. After all, he laughed all the
事件
time.
当時のことで俺が語れるのはこれくらいだな。
That's all I can tell you about the crimes that happened
あ
then.
の事件を紐解きたいってんなら、榎本の存在を抜きには語れね
If you want to unravel these murders, then you'll need to get it
え。
out
あい
of
つは
Enomoto.
格好をつけたがるからな。なかなか話そうとしねえだろうが。
He acts tough. He might not want to
あ
talk
いつ
about
の
it.
本音を引き出すために今の話を切り出すなら俺のせいにしとけ。
If you use our
なんで知ってん
discussion
のか警戒されるだろうからな
to。try and coax something out of him, feel free to blame it on me. He'll be suspicious of you for knowing all this. No, I'm the one who asked you for all this
気
information.
にすることはない。年寄りは話好きなんだ。
Forget about it. I'm old. I like to tell
俺
stories.
は直接手を貸してやれねえが、榎本はまだあの事件に対する思いが残ってるはずなんだ。
I can't lend you a direct hand, but I think Enomoto should still feel something about
こ
these
んなこと
crimes.
言うのは筋違いかもしれねえ。だが、それでも言わせてくれ。
This approach might be the most straightforward, but please give it a
わか
shot.
った。榎本を頼む。
Young lady, please help Enomoto. I said that in the wrong order, sorry. Sadake bowed to me. Enomoto doesn't trust people anymore because of Fuji's death. It hurts to be betrayed by someone you trust, so maybe he thought that he was better off not placing his trust in anyone. But that's just too sad. I haven't been very helpful yet, and he hasn't acknowledged me. But I'll show Enomoto that I can be a partner that has his back. I declared my determination, and Sadake stared at me, then taken aback.
うまくいきゃなかなかの名コンビになりそうだ。
If that works out, you'll make a daring
お嬢ちゃん
duo.
が榎本とつながってると聞いて、こいつはひょっとしたらと思ったが、
When you told me you were involved with Enomoto, I
ああしてよ
wondered.
かった。お嬢ちゃんなら自分の殻に閉じこもってる榎本をどうにかしてくれそうだ。
I'm glad we talked, young lady. I'm sure that you'll be able to release the shackles binding Enomoto. Sadake handed me a note with his contact information
気
written
に
on
な
it.
ることや、あとは榎本に急を据えてほしいときは連絡してくれ。
If you have a question or if you want me to light a fire under Enomoto's ass, give me a
俺が
call.
ガツンとげん
I'll
こつ
give
か
him
ま
a
してやる。
good punch. Okay. That was tense, but I'm glad that I was able to get Sadake to talk. I'd finished finally taken a step towards discovering the truth. May victim has been added to your materials. Ooh, December 9th, 6 p.m. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help. I bowed to Sadake and watched him leave. I quickly wrapped up all my SRCPO work and went to gather information at the abandoned building with Fuji's body was found. However, it had been over 6 months since the murder and attack was now happening all over Shinjuku. It made sense that I didn't learn anything, which other investigators had already uncovered. But this is all I can do right now. I contemplated whether speaking to Enomoto would be helpful. That's how I ended up doing this research. Enomoto might not want to go and check out the scene himself, so I have to gather that intel here. In any case, I had to act. Then someone called my name. Hoshino? Eh? Sounded like Yanagi. Ah! When I turned, it saw Yanagi. Thank you for your hard work.
ここにいるということは
Yeah, if you're here then. Yeah, I'm gathering information on the cases. What about
俺
you?
は別の現場を見てきたところだ。Enomotoは一緒じゃないんだな。
I just came from another crime scene. I see Enomoto isn't with you. Not a lot of foot traffic comes through this area. I'll be fine on my own.
聞き込みの人では大いに越したことはないだろう。
It never hurts to have extra help when you're interviewing witnesses. If you're having trouble finding him, I can... Please don't call him. I didn't mean to raise my voice, and I quickly looked down. I'm sorry, but I'm really fine.
まるであいつをここに来させたくないみたいだな。
You sound like you don't want to have him here with you.
その様子だとお前の担当してる事件にEnomotoが関係してることを知ったんじゃない。
So easy to read. I can tell by your face that you know why Enomoto is connected to this case. I hung my head. He had seen right through me, just like Sadake had. Am I that easy to read?
まあ、そうだな。Enomotoほどではないが。
Well, yeah, though Enomoto's easier to read. That doesn't make me feel better. He laughed. Oh god, my heart. You're the second to the last. You're not as great as Takeru, but you know what? I like you. That was a slight surprise. I'd never really seen Yanagi laugh before. As you noticed, I heard about Enomoto from Detective Sadake.
そうか。佐竹さんはEnomotoのことをかなり気にしていたからな。
I see. Sadake was rather worried about how Enomoto's been doing. A little while ago, Sasuke scolded Enomoto for not investigating the case. It's been nagging me since, but I never imagined he had that kind of past. I'm Enomoto's partner. I have to help him when he's suffering. Yanagi?
ああ、いや。Enomotoのパートナーになったのがお前でよかったと思ってな。
He's so cute. No, just I'm glad that you ended up his
佐
partner.
竹さんはあいつが警察を辞めてからのことは話したか。
Did Sadake tell you about what happened after Enomoto quit? No, he
お
didn't.
前がパートナーであるEnomotoのことを知りたいなら。
If you want to know more about your partner, then I want you to hear this. Yanagi looked straight into my eyes. I felt like he was sizing up my conviction to know the truth. Please tell me.
わかった。立ち話もなんだからな。事務所に来てくれ。
All right, let's have this conversation back at the office. Understood. And we walked in silence for like 6 city blocks at least. Enomoto wasn't at the office, and Sasuke was working on something at his own seat.
飲み物を入れてくる。座って待っててくれ。
I'll make something to drink. Just have a seat. Okay. I sat down on the sofa thinking things about Enomoto. What happened after he quit the police, huh? Sadake had said that Enomoto quit the police when his passion for the investigation faded, but he still had strong feelings about the murder.
待たせたな。
Thanks for waiting. Yanagi set a cup of hot cocoa down at the table and sat across
俺
from
も
me.
捜査一課にいた頃、佐竹さんには世話になっていたんだ。
Sadake helped me when I was investigating Section
で
1.
も警察を辞めてからは会うこともなかったんだが。
That said,
9月中旬に電話がかかってきてな。
I hadn't seen him since I quit the force, but I got a call from him in
どうやって駆け
mid-September.
つけたのか 俺が X デイ事件を単独捜査していると聞いて、頼みがあると言われたんだ。
Somehow he found out that I was independently investigating the X-Day crimes and asked me to do a favor. A favor? You mean?
ある男の面倒を見てやってほしい。あいつは必ず役に立つ。と言われた。
You want me to look after someone. He said that person would definitely be helpful, so I took Enomoto in.
役に立つどころか、今じゃお荷物になってるけどな。バカ猫の方が動く分、まだまし
Thanks, Takeru. You're so kind. Helpful. He's just been baggage so far. Even that stupid cat is doing better than him. Sasuke's interruption with a characteristically ruthless critique of Enomoto.
俺とEnomotoはもともと警察在職時代から交流があってな。
I interacted with Enomoto during our time in the police. He wasn't a stranger to me, so I accepted him if he had the will to work, but...
Enomoto は確かに事件に踏み込めないでいる。ただ、完全に逃げているわけでもないんだ。
Enomoto won't go near X-Day crimes, but he isn't completely running away either.
まだここにいる。そうでなければ、俺の誘いを断っていたはずだ。
He still has some lingering attachments to them. If he didn't, then he would have turned me down. I'd thought that I would pursue the cases on my own now, but now that I know... I thought that I would pursue the cases on my own, now that I knew Enomoto's past. But once I heard the whole story, I began to doubt my decisions to avoid reopening old wounds. Even if it pains him, a part of Enomoto still wants to face the truth. As his partner, what can I do?
お前にできることが何かを模索するのも大事だ。
Hoshino, it's important to understand how you can
お前が
contribute.
どうしたいのかもきっと同じように大切だと思う。
But it's just as important to know what you want to do. You're Enomoto's partner, after all. What I want to do? Yanagi and Sasuke both left the office to investigate something, leaving me to be by myself. What should I do? Sasuke had said that Enomoto was afraid of becoming involved with the murders, but so was I. Even though I decided to join this investigation, the fear of death hounds me even now. A mistake or a slip of the tongue could get me killed. I don't want to die. There were still so many things I wanted to try. I didn't want my life to end here. What's the difference between Enomoto and I? I was new to the police. I didn't really excel at anything, and I didn't have any achievements to be particularly proud of. And I was facing Adonis, a terrorist organization, but still, I'll stand up to them. I don't want to give up. No matter how desperate the situation was, giving up would mean the end. As long as I struggled, I could still do this. I was still more helpful than resignation was. Enomoto is here because he doesn't want to give up either. I wonder if he can fight side by side if we can fight side by side as partners. And then just like that, he showed up. While I was thinking, the door suddenly opened.
夜は冷え込むなーっと。けど、もやしが半額で買えたのは得したぜ。
Woo! Sure is a cold night, but I got these discounted bean sprouts.
これで今日のラーメンはもやし祭り。
Yanagi, we can enjoy bean sprouts on our ramen.
星野、なんでここにいんだよ。お前の分のラーメンはねえぞ。
Hoshino, what are you doing here? I don't have enough ramen for you. That's fine. I didn't come here to have ramen. Wait, so while we were talking about him this whole time, he...
なんだよ、怖い顔して。今夜は、ミネオ様特製のラーメンを柳先輩に振る舞おうとだな。
What's with that scary look? Tonight, I'm showing off Chef Mineo's gourmet ramen to Yanagi.
つうか、誰もいねえのか?
Where's everybody else? If you mean Yanagi and Sasuke, they went out on investigation a bit ago.
マジかよ。せっかくこんなにもやし買ってきたのに。
I went to the trouble to get these sprouts. I didn't really understand why Enomoto looked depressed as he clutched the supermarket bag. He seems like a cheerful person before, but now I couldn't help but feel that there was something still burning in his heart.
まあいいや。冷蔵庫に入れとこう。
Well, whatever. I'll stick this in the fridge. Watching him trudge over to the refrigerator, I steeled myself and spoke to Enomoto. Actually, today I talked to Detectives Sadake and Yanagi about you. Huh? Enomoto stopped in his tracks and clumsily turned around. It wasn't like I was trying to pry into your past. I had Shigarawa introduce me to someone who was familiar with the April and May murders, and that led me to Sadake. Even if it was inevitable, he could be angry at me for snooping in his private affairs. If I handled this poorly, he could reject me even more than he was before.
まあ、佐竹さんじゃ仕方ねえな。
Well, there was no helping if it was Sadake.
当時のこと聞くなら佐竹さんが適任だし、桜川さんの紹介なら当然そこに行くよな。
Sadake is the best guy to ask about what happened. Shigawara would obviously point you
お
to
前
him.
があの事件を追うってなったら、いつか俺との関わりも知るだろうと思ってたし。
I figured you'd find out more about me eventually if you were set on chasing those crimes. Really?
どこまで聞いたんだ？でも、あの人のことだから話すなら全部か。
How much do you know? Well, probably everything if you talk to him. I don't know if I learned everything. I heard about your relationship to the victim, Fuji, and about the way you behaved.
余計なことまで喋ってそうだな。
So he even told you the worthless details. He's awfully
聞いたん
calm.
ならわかるだろう。俺は逃げてんだよ。
Then you know I'm really lame for running away. No, that's wrong. Enomoto's usually stout-hearted demeanor was now hidden under a self-deprecating
先
smile.
輩がアドニスに捕まって、裏でやってたことがバラされて、その挙句に殺されて。
Detective Fuji got caught by Adonis, had all the dirty stuff he did exposed, and then he paid for it with his
最初
life.
はさ、先輩の無実を証明するっつって、俺なりに必死で頑張ったんだぜ。
At first, I did my darndest to try and prove his
あの人が
innocence.
不祥事だの、裏で悪事だの。絶対そんなことするわけねえって。なんかの間違いだって。
That guy, a dirty cop, it wasn't possible. I had faith in him. It had to be a mistake.
けど、調べれば調べるほど、先輩の罪が事実で揺るがねえってことを突きつけられるだけだった。
The more I looked, the more real his crimes became until I ran into solid evidence that I just had to finally accept.
藤井先輩
Enomoto.
はさ、すっげえかっこよくて、誰よりも熱くて。
You see, Detective Fuji was super cool. He was fired up, had his own sense of justice.
正義そのものだったんだ。
He was my paragon of justice. And that voice, longing for the past, I could hear indescribable
でも
regret.
先輩は悪として殺された。
But he was executed for being evil. Enomoto whispered it in an emotionless voice.
俺は先輩を殺した奴を絶対許さねえ。
I will never forgive Fuji's killers. Those feelings won't change. But on a personal level, I have no idea what justice means to me anymore. Enomoto looked lost. He has cast his eyes downward. To Enomoto, justice was something he had created for himself to uphold, and now he was the source of his pain. Justice. Oh, I don't read flashbacks.
そっか、それが。
I don't read flashbacks. Perhaps he had looked so depressed back then because of his fixation on the idea of justice.
つうことで、納得しただろ。
So do you get it now? Huh? When I looked back at Enomoto, he was rummaging around in the refrigerator. He closed the door. His voice was cheery, but he wore a pained smile.
俺と一緒に捜査したいなんて思っても、時間の無駄だって話。
Even
俺
if
に期
you
待するだけ無駄。
want to work with me, it's pointless. I'm not going to be able to help out.
お前にいろいろ偉そうなこと言ったけどよ。悪かったな。結局こんなんで。
I said a lot of proud things to you. Sorry, in the end, this is just who I really am. Wait, what do you...
柳先輩に相談すりゃ、力貸してくれるだろう。他の事件を追うことにしてもいいわけだしな。
I'm sure Yanagi will assist you if you ask him. It'd be better if you switch to another crime. Enomoto, listen to me.
もう俺のことはほっとけ。
So just leave me alone. Enomoto finished in a low voice and left the room with an air of finality. I couldn't say anything to stop him. It wasn't my intention to put him through such pain. Even if it was too much for him to bear alone, couldn't he accept my support and we'd share the burden together? I came here to offer that option. To me, Enomoto is, of all the people in the office, he seemed to somehow like the one I could talk to the most as an equal. Is this from the first time they ran into each other? I can't remember. Yeah. The back that had carried me to the office and up the stairs had felt large and reliable. At this rate, nothing will change. Enomoto had been betrayed by someone he trusted and they would never meet again. He was still wallowing in despair. The important question is, what do I want to do? All right, we're going to save here and then we will continue later because I have to go to the workplace soon and so I need to finish getting ready. But now we have another choice to make. And we'll make it next time. I think his story's kind of interesting so far. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Kai's story was the strangest story of them all, so I'm still getting down from that. This is interesting because I feel like they put a lot more into each character's story because typically I can get through a story within 7 hours. And I've played this one for over 2 hours now, I think, and it's only on chapter 2, and there's like 6 or 7 chapters. So I don't know. I don't know. The last one took me way more streams than I thought it would take, and I think it was like almost 10 hours of story that I got through. So I don't know if it's going to be just as long as Kai's story. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But thank you so much for joining me today. If you would like to see my older stuff, you can check it out on my YouTube channel, which is linked in the description. And if you're on YouTube and want to see my newer stuff, you can visit me on Twitch. I have the link also on there. Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon.